Welcome everybody to the lock-in. It's Friday night. Thanks for joining. Delighted that you're here. Let me know where you are, what you're drinking, what's in your glass. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to do something different. We're going to raise some money. We're going to talk Irish whiskey. We're going to have some crack. We're going to sip on some whiskey, and we're going to win some whiskey and win some great prizes. I'm thrilled that you're here, and I'm so appreciative of everything that has been donated so far to our cause. And I'll talk a little more about that in a second. So Michael Murray, Richard Agnew, Hank Barnes, you're all welcome. And across Facebook and YouTube, I see folks are joining us. Let me know what you're drinking. What's in your glass? Where are you? And all right, I am keeping an eye because there are donations coming in here, left, right, and center, and I'm making a note of them as they come in. So thank you, everybody, for all of the amazing support so far for what we're trying to do here tonight. So tonight is going to be a little bit different. We have no guests, no special guests, no music. We have whiskey. We'll talk about whiskey. We'll ask questions and have a quiz around whiskey. But tonight's goal is to use our platform, come together as a community, and do some good for those who need our help, and leverage the fantastic community that we've built here, the platform that we have around Irish whiskey. We're going to try and use it for good and make sure that we're spreading the love to those who need a little bit of help because of what they're going through in their lives. So tonight is a fundraiser for cancer research. We're going to have a pub quiz, 50 questions, 5 rounds, 10 questions per round. We've got amazing prizes. I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to join in. So we're not going to kick off the quiz for a few minutes while we wait for everyone to join us and get ready and get a whiskey in the glass. Make sure that you've got something in the bottom of your glass. Stacey's joining us from Columbus, Ohio, with our Wolfhound, giving the Wolfhound a bath. You never know what you're going to see in the comments here. Johnny McNally, Tullamore Dew, 18-year-old in Long Beach, New York. Good man, Johnny. Mark Stevenson's got the Sexton. Lovely stuff. Richard Agnew and Hank Barnes are having a chat there about Canada. And let me see, Anne-Marie Hughes, welcome. She's wanting to win the fight against the demon cancer. Thanks so much, Anne-Marie. It is a cause I think we're all rallying around, and we all want to do our bit to support and to end cancer. So tonight is all about doing our best to end cancer. So I see more donations coming in here. Johnny McNally, thank you for that. Let me put up on the screen. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to get through. And so where else have we got to be? We're going to go be here just raising money and drinking whiskey. All right, let me have a look here. Let me put up on the screen. So many of you have already donated. We have raised far. Let me see. The last tally is $3,477, which is incredible. And I think that we can get to $5,000 tonight. I'm convinced we can get to $5,000 yet tonight. So everyone who's donated so far, thank you so much, and really appreciative of your efforts. Where can you donate to cancer research, and what is this all about? Let me put this up on the screen. So if you want to donate, you can barrymademedoit.com. Do it is a bit of an inside joke on our Facebook group, because every time I post a picture of a whiskey, somebody buys it and they come says Barry made me do it. So I'm being blamed in across America whiskey purchase, and I'm okay with it. In that hashtag, we've turned it into a URL, a link. Go to barrymademedoit.com, and you can donate to an organization called Pelotonia. And Pelotonia is a organization started about 12 years ago in Columbus, Ohio, and it has one goal, and that one goal is to make sure that in our lifetime cancer is ended, eliminated, or that there's a cure for cancer, in the sense of it's no longer a death sentence, that instead cancer could be as perhaps a chronic disease that has a treatment plan, and it's not immediately a life sentence for somebody. And I know so many of you, so many of us are affected, have been affected by cancer directly, indirectly. There isn't a family, a household in the United States, in Ireland, further afield, that hasn't been directly or indirectly affected by cancer. It is a scourge, and we want to get rid of it. So Pelotonia started as a bike ride 12, 13 years ago now, into the 13th year, I think, this year. And it started with, I think, 2,000 or 3,000 riders in Columbus, Ohio, riding anywhere from 25 miles to 180 miles. And over the last 12 years has raised north of $220 million. Every single cent that's raised goes directly to cancer research. There's no money taken out for administration, no money taken out for salaries. Those things are all covered by corporate donations. Instead, 100% of the money goes to cancer hospitals and research institutes that are studying, they're undertaking high risk, high reward cancer research work in order to be able to find maybe new and innovative ways to attack and tackle the scourge that is cancer. So I got involved in Pelotonia as a rider when I first arrived in Columbus, going all the way back to 2009, 2010. And I remember seeing all of these green arrows that were on cars and windows around Columbus, Ohio, and it blew me away. Arrows like this. This is this year's arrow. This is the logo this year, 2021. And this year's phrase is "you're legendary for taking part." But this was a green arrow, and you could see them on cars, you could see them on shop windows. And I asked a friend, "What are all these green arrows for? What are they all about?" And without missing a beat, he just turned to me and said, "Oh, we're going to cure cancer here in Columbus." And I was blown away. I said, "Well, how are you going to do that?" He said, "Well, there's a bike ride, and you raise your money, and all that money goes to cancer research." And at the time I asked him the question, the ride was about 7 weeks away. I hadn't been on a bike in 15 years, but I was just so blown away by the community for raising money for cancer research in Columbus, Ohio, that I bought a bike, signed up for the Pelotonia ride, a 2-day ride, 180 miles. And I remember the first day getting on the bike and trying to ride 5 miles. I thought I was after doing 150 miles, puffed, got off the bike after 5 miles and thought, there's no way I can do this. Next day, 6 miles, then 8 miles, then 10 miles, and worked my way up eventually to this 2-day ride for 180 miles. And I've been involved in it either in a fundraising capacity or in a riding capacity ever since. So Pelotonia is what got me into Irish whiskey. It's because of Pelotonia that I started my first ever whiskey tasting, knowing nothing about whiskey. Many of you will argue I still know nothing about whiskey. Maybe I know a tiny little bit more now than I did going back 5 years ago. But 2016, I hosted my first whiskey tasting because I had an Irish accent and somebody said, you could probably get money out of people if you gave them whiskey and told them a story. And so I did. I bought 6 whiskeys, charged people $50 a head to come and taste them, and gave all of the money to cancer research. And I learned about the whiskeys myself, searching them on Google. People had questions. I had no answers. I went away and researched them, came back, gave them the answers, and I fell in love with the stories of whiskey. Stories and Sips was born out of raising money for cancer research and raising money for Pelotonia. So it is an incredible organization. I'm going to be riding it this year. The bike is here behind me. Did a soft little 20 miles this morning just before breakfast, and I'll be riding 100 miles this year. So August 8th in Columbus, I'm flying to Columbus and I'm going to ride 100 miles. So that's what I'm raising money for here, is both the ride and of course all of the money. 100% of the money goes directly to cancer research. Chris Connor just donated there. Thank you very much, Chris. Writing all these names down because I want to thank you all individually. And it's the thing that got me connected to the community in Columbus. It made me feel like I was part of the city. And once I got to know the people behind the organization, it's something that you feel you have to participate in, you have to be part of it. And I want to play for you a quick video here before we get into the whiskeys, before we get into the quiz, and give you all a chance to get set up there. At the start of every year, they'll play this video. Typically, there's a kickoff event the night before the ride. And sadly now, last year there wasn't a ride, but this year now there's going to be a ride. But they'll play a video on a big screen. Thousands of people gather downtown Columbus, and they're there for the kickoff ceremony. And it's the kickoff ceremony where they talk about the goals for the year, talk about what they're going to do, and get everyone rallied up. It's a pep rally for the 2 days ahead. And there's always a video that just gets you. From the first in 2008, 2009, 2010, and the first time I saw that year's video, I was in bits. You know, I said, okay, I have to ride this, I have to raise the money, I have to raise even more money, because these videos get you and they're designed to get you. So I want to play this video to show you the support for Pelotonia in Columbus and what we're all raising money for here tonight through our quiz.
You know, it's a huge team effort for Pelotonia every year, all year long. Fundraising for cancer research, from the riders to the volunteers and the donors. We're listening to City 1025.
weekend is here and you can feel the excitement. 8,000 riders, multiple routes. That's what makes this the greatest team. Every rider comes together for one cause, to cure cancer.
That's the one. This is our moment. This is why we do what we do, guys.
When I needed you the most, you did your very best.
It's hard not to be moved by it every time I hear that drum beat, every time I see the little girl on the bicycle with her pennant flag flying behind. And anytime I see any group of people coming together, and you see it every year in Columbus, thousands of people coming together for this bike ride, you can't but be moved by it. The city of Columbus has taken this on board. It is their movement, and it is designed to solve cancer on a global stage, but you can't help but be, just be absolutely moved by this. When you're riding the 180 miles or 25 miles or whatever you've signed up for, there's people lining the entire route from Columbus all the way to Athens. Was in Ohio was the first destination for the ride, and then to Gambier, to Ohio University. And there are people on the side of the road holding up signs, and there's one man that stands on the side of the road every single year, and people look out for him, and he just stands there with his handwritten sign, just holding it up saying, "Thank you for saving my wife's life." And it's, we're all just trying to get through life, aren't we, and do our little bit. And when you can see that, look, you can have a bit of an impact, and maybe you can save somebody or make life a bit easier for them, well, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Anne Marie asks, am I in with the game with your donation from yesterday? Yes, you are. Thank you very much, Anne Marie. There's another one came in there from Michael Mullen. Thanks a million. I'll read out some of the names that of those of you who donated. Thank you so much. So many of you bought t-shirts. The Barry Made Me Do It t-shirts, which are available on shopstoriesandsips.com. All of the profits from those, 100% of the profits goes to the fundraising that we're doing here. And to those of you who've donated so far, I'm just so appreciative. And to the partners who've donated prizes, but just some of the names here, I just want to give you a shout out and thank you most sincerely for donating. 100% of your money is going to fight cancer. We're going to cure cancer because of the money that's raised. You saw in the video there, the James Cancer Hospital and the Solov Research Institute. That was the start of Pelotonia. Started to raise money for the James Cancer Hospital. My wife, Melinda, Mrs. Stories and Sips, she spent 7 years working in the cancer, working in the James Hospital. It's something very close to her. Her mother had cancer. So it's a big one, isn't it? It's a big thing that we're trying to get through and trying to get around and beat. So some of the names, thanks for your donations: Ed Powers, Nick Nastasi, Brian Redden, let me see, Dave Borges, John Ritko, Kelly Ryan, Greg Anderson, Nathan Yates, John Doyle, Brian Riley, Bill Walsh, Stephen Simon, Thomas Darling, Jacob Hicks, Cian Boland, Anne-Marie Hughes, Zane Klaus, Brendan Lynch, Joshua Gillooly, Keith McAlevey, Connor Winders, James Kearns, Hank Barnes, Morris Green, Scott Squire, Michael Murray, Matthew Morrison, Stephen Smathers, Caroline Brannigan, Michael Aaron Lee, Mark Stevenson, Dan Hickey, Johnny McNabb, Casey Stearns. Thank you. raising money. It's going to the best place it could possibly go, and we're going to win some whiskey prizes tonight with our quiz. As simple as that. Robert Meacham, another one, a big one coming in there. Thank you so much, Robert. I'm writing all your names down here because you're all in the draws for prizes as well. So pull up on the screen here where we are with our fundraising, and then we will get you sorted with the details for the quiz. Whew. Ooh, the numbers have gone up again. Fantastic. All right, let me put it up here on the screen. This is just amazing watching this go up. Here is where we are, $3,677. There it is, raised. I've put there a stretch goal of $10,000. I've committed to raising a minimum of $5,000. I think we can get to the $5,000 tonight. And then we're going to keep going. And we're not going to stop our fundraising until the last day, which is the end of October, start of November. We're going to keep fundraising and lots of whiskey events and things coming up as well. $24,000 all time raised. And that has all been through Irish whiskey events. So 100% of my fundraising has been through Irish whiskey events. I've got more events in the pipeline for you all as well. So thank you so much. Lorcan, thank you so much for your donation. Just came in as well. This is unbelievable. It's like the telethon. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. So how does this work tonight? Well, we're going to try and test your Irish whiskey knowledge. We've got 5 rounds, 10 questions per round, and we're going to use a software called Quizzes, and I'm going to give you the details now and the link to go to it, where you can use your smartphone or open up another tab on your computer or on your tablet so that you can hear me and you can see the questions at the same time. So it might be easy to do it on your phone. I've been entering in these quizzes on my phone, and it's super easy to use. Bill Walsh wants to know if I can tell some jokes like Jerry Lewis. I will. I'll find some jokes to lighten the mood as we go through it. The Barry Lewis telethon, says Dave. Okay, so let me put up the details for you. How do you join in the quiz? Now, the prizes that have been donated are unbelievable. Irish Malts have been so kind to donate the first place prize tonight, which is a bottle of Middleton Very Rare 2020 edition. One of the most sought after of the Middleton Very Rare whiskies. Incredibly hard to get. The smallest release of the Middleton Very Rares in many, many years. And Irish Malts pulled out all the stops and said, for a cause like this, you have to have a great prize. So thank you to John for really stepping up and giving us an incredible prize. That's our prize. That's our first place prize. Our second place prize, thanks to our friends at Folsom Wine and Spirits, who've been very kind in helping us over the past year fulfill logistics for our whiskey, the story. But Larry and the team at Folsom have donated a bottle of the Red Earl Irish whiskey, a pack of the 2 stacks Irish whiskey cans, and a miniature of the story, a miniature bottle of the story, which we have here. And I will also be giving away some of these miniature bottles of the story as spot prizes throughout the night. So stay tuned. So those are the first and second place prizes. Additionally, there's going to be a prize for each of the rounds. So the winner, the leader at the end of each of the 10 questions. So after question number 10, we'll have a leader. After question number 20, we'll have a leader. Each of the leaders will be the proud owner of a green pass to Belfast Whiskey Week. Belfast Whiskey Week, thanks to Paul O'Kane for donating 5 passes to us. They're valued at £200 or about $250 each. And one of those will go to you if you are the leader leader at the end of one of our rounds. The leader of each of the rounds will also get a sip box with our glassware, a super sip box. In here is, this is our Stories and Sips super sip box. Inside it are the very highly sought after Stories and Sips glasses. There will be 4 of those in each of the boxes, together with coasters and pipettes, all kinds of things here. There's coasters, there's pipettes, there's toppers for the glasses. So one of those for every leader as well. Now, in order to prevent one person from scooping every single thing and leading from the start, for example, if Mr. Billy Lighton from Irish Distillers is tuned in here now and he has all the answers to the questions because nobody has knowledge like him, Billy, you can't win every single prize. So here's how we're going to do it. If you're the leader after one of the rounds and you win that prize, you can't win another leader, another round prize, because I think it's only fair that somebody else gets a chance, right? So you're still on track maybe to be first or second at the end, but we'll move down the leaderboard and find the next person. The only people who can win prizes tonight are those who've donated. I think you'd all agree that's fairly fair. And I see so many more donations coming in there. Thank you. So you can play along without donating. I understand people's circumstances. can be very different, and I'm not here to pressure you into doing anything that you can't afford to do. I know everybody does as much as they possibly can, so feel free to play along, but just know that we can only give out prizes to those who've donated. You can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate $5, or as some people have donated, $500. Anything will help, because 100% of the money goes to fight cancer research. So play along, whether you've donated or not. Thank you so much. Oh, the donations that are coming in are unbelievable. Folks, I'm going to give you constant updates through the night, whether you like it or not. We're now up to almost $4,000, $3,952. We're going to get to $5,000 today. We're going to do it. All right, so here, I'm going to put up on the screen where you go. So you go to joinmyquiz.com, joinmyquiz.com, and you enter in the code 462129. You can do that on your tablet, your smartphone, internet-powered shoe or flower pot, or anything with a screen. You can do it on your laptop. Open up a separate screen, open up a separate tab or a separate window, and go to joinmyquiz.com and type in 462129. 462129. Now, for those of you who are joining from the United States, you might have the little upper hand on those joining from Ireland, because it's now 20 past midnight and they've been drinking for about 4 hours or 5 hours on a Friday night in Ireland. So they're probably horizontal or 45 degrees to the floor in Ireland. So you get a chance to beat them now here in the United States because of the time zones. All right. So many of you joining in there. Great. We've got already 13, 14, 15 of you signed up already. Fantastic. And we're going to try and give as many prizes away as possible. While you're signing up, let me show you a few spot prizes that we're going to give away as well. I'm going to give away a spot prize of a Red Breast tri-pack. Folsom Wine and Spirits are going to ship that from our own personal stock. I've got a pile of these in Folsom Wine and Spirits that I use for corporate events. We'll ship one of those as a spot prize. After every round, we'll do a little game. Also spot prizes, 2 green 2 glasses will be shipped out. That is another spot prize set right there. Also, what else are we going to give away? We're going to give away a book, The Field Guide to Whiskey, a fantastic book that is question-oriented. So there's 300 or 400 questions that you can have answered in here. What is Kentucky Straight Bourbon? Where does the name bourbon originate? Irish whiskey, Scotch whiskey, Japanese whiskey. A great book. That's a spot prize. Another great spot prize comes from Ireland, and it is the book Craft Cocktails, a collection of recipes and stories from Ireland's leading spirit makers. A beautifully put together book with beautiful cocktails, beautiful recipes. That is a spot prize tonight. That's going out. And what else have we got? We have also got miniatures of the story. I've got 2 or 3 of these, and I'm going to give these away as well. So these are going out there to those of you who have donated, whether it's $1 or $5, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right, so let me see. How many have we got signed up? 28 of you signed up. Fantastic. All right, we'll give you 2 more minutes, and then we will kick off. So that's a good number, because you almost all have a chance here now. 28 people. And it's amazing just how much money has been donated from all of you tonight. Let me see. What are we up to here now? Just check the donations. Yeah, $4,000. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. 30 people signed up. 30. This is amazing. All right. So let me see. What questions do we have? Anybody got any questions? Jaime says, 3rd straight stream without the turtleneck. What's happening, Barry? I'll tell you what's happening. I live in a desert in Southern California. That's what's happening. And it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And if you'll pay my air conditioning bills, I'll put the turtleneck back on. Richard says we're going to knock the target goal out of the park tonight. Can you imagine if we got past $5,000 tonight? We'll stop a number of times during the night, and I'll prompt and poke and prod you to donate. I think we'll get there. I think we'll get to 5,000. How many have we got signed up? 35 people signed up. All right. So let me put this up on my screen. I'm going to figure out how to do this. This is we're trying our hardest with technology here now to make this work. Share the screen. Share. Here we go. Ha ha ha. All right. So you can see some of the names there. We're up to 36 people. So this is our Stories and Sips Irish Whiskey Fundraiser. We are going to kick off in, okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes because I still see people coming in. 2 more minutes. So you go to joinmyquiz.com. You see it up in the top right-hand corner. And you enter the code 462129. 462129. Daniel wants to know, am I near Torrey Pines? I am. I'm about a 20-minute drive south of Torrey Pines. Dave says, keep them drinking and the money will flow. That's it. Oh, yeah. So I should have a whiskey before we get started. To celebrate the amazing generosity of everybody, I am going to sip on some Redbreast 21-year-old and make no apologies for it because of your kindness in donating. Jason wants to know how to sign up. Go, you see on the screen there, Jason, top right-hand corner, joinmyquiz.com. 462129 is the code you put in. 462129. Sláinte, whatever's in your glass. I'm drinking Redbreast 21 to kick us off. All right, so I'll make sure, I'll give you all another minute. We want to make this fair. We're at 39 people. Maybe we'll get to 40. 50 questions, half hour per question, 25 hours. Bring your sleeping bags. Tell your spouse you won't be available for the next day. Oh, geez, that's great stuff. I need a sip of water there. All right. We are at 40 people. 40 people. Fantastic. This is amazing. Okay. Then I think we can do it. So here's how it works. These are multiple choice questions. They're divided into 5 rounds. The first, all 5 rounds, I'll tell you what they are. The first round is Irish distilleries. The second round is Irish whiskey brands. The third is Irish whiskey history. The fourth is how Irish whiskey is made. And the fifth is the people of Irish whiskey. You don't need to remember that. It'll become clear as we go through it. Each of the questions has an option. They're all multiple choice. So I've made it very easy on you, knowing that you'll have one hand with a bottle of whiskey in it and the other with your finger to press the answer. And as the night goes on, one of those hands will become shakier. So 4 possible answers to most of the questions. And some of the questions I've thrown in a few easy ones that are just there's 2 possible answers. So you have a 50-50 chance of getting some of them right. But you've got a 1 in 4 chance of getting every one of these questions right. I think those odds are pretty good. Multiple choice, 4 options, 10 questions per round. What will happen is once I press start now, you'll have a countdown timer from 3, 2, 1, and the first question will appear on the screen. It doesn't matter if you know all the answers. You have to know all the answers quicker than everybody else because the leaderboard will be weighted based on the speed with which you respond, as well as the whether you got the correct answer. So that adds in a nice little layer of fairness, I think, that it's not just about you knowing all the answers, it's about you knowing them the fastest, which gives somebody a chance to maybe overtake you at various stages. All right. 43 people have now signed up for our quiz, so I suppose we should we kick it off? All right, so here we go. We are going to get started. If you're all ready with your laptops, your phones, etc. Last one came in there. Frank Gildee, welcome. 44 of you now. You can join anytime, but of course, if you're not there at the start, you might miss out on the chance to get questions right. You don't really need to do anything in the comments section because you won't have time until we break between each round. So we'll break between each round. And if there's any technical difficulties, we'll figure them out. And if you think any of the answers are wrong, the judge's decision is final, and I'm the judge. Here we go. If you're ready. Which Cork distillery became the 4th distillery in the county to distill whiskey when they distilled their first whiskey spirit in 2020? Was it Clonakilty Distillery, West Cork Distillery, Blacks of Kinsale, or Middleton Distillery? Those are the 4 Cork distilleries. Which one distilled their first whiskey spirit in 2020? Time's up. 20 seconds to answer each question. Let me see. John M. is the leader with so far. Blacks of Kinsale is the right answer. 8 of you got that right. John M. leading with 850 points so far. That leaderboard comes in and out fast. I'm sure we'll find it again in a second if we need to. Let me see. All right, so I see some of you didn't get the answer in time. So 20 seconds is how long you have. If the 20 seconds runs out, you won't be able to answer it. And so the answer was Blacks of Kinsale. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. Next question. 3, 2, 1. Which of these distilleries produces all 3 types of Irish whiskey? Grain, malt, and pot still. Is it Old Bushmills? Is it Waterford Distillery? Is it Dingle Distillery? Or is it the new Tullamore Distillery? 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 4. You were faster that time. Time's up. The answer, of course, is the new Tullamore Distillery. The new Tullamore Distillery. All 3 styles of Irish whiskey. Let's see the leaderboard. John M. is still in the lead there with 1,760 points. 14 of you got that right. The rest of you need to go back to Irish Whiskey School. New Tullamore Distillery. They haven't released their own whiskey fully yet, but they are producing all 3 styles of Irish whiskey. All right, that's question number 2. Let's go on to question number 3. Which of these whiskey brands belongs to Ireland's only island-based whiskey distillery? Is it Port McGee whiskey, Irish Wolfhound whiskey, Irish American whiskey, or Hellcat Maggie? These come and go fast, don't they? 1 second left. Boom. The answer is Irish American whiskey. Irish American whiskey comes from Achill Island Distillery. And let's see the leaderboard right now. John M. still in the lead, followed closely by Zane. So 11 of you got that right. Irish American whiskey is a brand that belongs to the Achill Island Distillery, which is Ireland's only functional, operational, island-based whiskey distillery. They're on Achill Island off the west coast of Ireland, off the west coast of Mayo, and they're going to be on our lock-in next Friday, and they're going to give us a tour of that same distillery. So 11 of you got that right, and the rest of you will hear all about it on next week's lock-in. So John M. still in the lead, Zane Klaus coming in close behind. John and Zane maintaining their lead there over those first 3 questions. And we move on to the next question. In 1981, the first of many concerts was played on the grounds that now house a distillery. Name the distillery. Name the distillery. 10 seconds to go. Slane, John's Lane Distillery, Nuns Island Distillery, or the Burren Distillery? Time's up. The answer is Slane. Slane Distillery is the answer. John M. and Zane still in the lead. No ice coming in third there. So many of you got that right, 34 of you. Yeah, the first concert was in 1981, and the headline act that day in August 1981 was Thin Lizzy. And Thin Lizzy, believe it or not, were supported by U2. Who else played that day for them? Let me see. I wrote it down here. I thought it was kind of amazing. But they were supported by U2, and they were supported by Hazel O'Connor, Rose Tattoo, Sweet Savage, The Bureau, and Mega Hype. And of course, Slane has gone on to host Metallica and Bruce Springsteen and the Rolling Stones and Bon Jovi and many others. So many of you got that one correct. And which one of you thought that the Burren Distillery was hosting concerts? Show yourself and shame yourself. All right, we're going on to the next question. John M. still in the lead. Zane close behind. In 1987, this former potato alcohol plant was converted to become Ireland's 3rd whiskey distillery at the time. Was it the Great Northern Distillery, the Dingle Distillery, the Cooley Distillery, or the Kilbeggan Distillery? 5 seconds left. Make a choice. The answer is Cooley Distillery. John Teeling bought a disused potato alcohol plant from the government. Oh, Zane has taken the lead. Zane has taken the lead. He was quick off the mark there. 16 of you got that right out of 39 answers. Bit of a tricky one because Great Northern Distillery and Cooley Distillery were both founded by John Teeling, but Cooley Distillery was the first one that he opened up. And John Teeling, I believe, holds the record for the most number of listed companies on public stock exchanges that he is the founder of, between diamond mines and investment companies around the world. So that man doesn't sleep at night. Cooley Distillery is the right answer. So Zane into the lead there. On to our next question. 3, 2, 1. Which Irish distillery uses rainwater, of which there is plenty, as its water source for their beer brewing and their whiskey making? Is it the Burren Distillery, Killowen Distillery, Glendalough Distillery, or Glendree Distillery? Which Irish distillery uses rainwater? Now, you could argue they all use rainwater, but specifically, one distillery uses it as their main source. The answer is Glendree Distillery in County Clare. Glendree. Has this changed the leaderboard? Yes, it has. John has taken the lead from Zane, and Lorcan Dunn has now gone into third place. Oh, this is good. This is good. Only 6 of you got that right. That is a tricky one, although you can't call yourselves Stories and Sips aficionados if you haven't listened to my podcast episode with Alex Loudon, the founder, co-founder of Glendree Distillery in County Clare. And interestingly, Glendree Distillery are doing some interesting things with JJ Corrie as well in County Clare. So they're neighbours there in East Clare. All right. So not only are you in the running for some prizes here, it's a school night as well. You're learning something. Here we go. Next question. I like the way the leaderboard is going now. It is moving. Let me see, what number question is that? So this was Irish Whiskey Distillery. How many more have we got in this round? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more in this round. Okay. Okay, here's a great question coming up next. The founder of this distillery collects military tanks that he often displays outside the distillery. Name the distillery. Is it Old Bushmills Distillery, Ecklandville Distillery, Powers Court Distillery, or the Teeling Distillery? Who collects military tanks? Time's up. The answer is Ecklandville. Ecklandville Distillery is the answer. And John, is John M still in the lead? Yes, John M, Zane, and now John Dempster has taken the third place lead. Amazing. Oh, so many of you knew that. Ecklandville Distillery. Shane Branf is the owner of Ecklandville Distillery. And some of us collect stamps, others collect coins, and Shane collects tanks. So I think that's to protect the barley and the malted barley and the whiskey and the spirits that are aging in there. Fair play to you all for knowing that. All right, move on to question number 8 in this round. Here we go. Name the first distillery to produce single pot still Irish whiskey in more than 45 years when they released their bottling in 2019. Pierce Lyons, Rowe & Co., Dublin Liberties Distillery, or Teeling Distillery. 4 Dublin distilleries there. Name the first distillery to produce single pot still Irish whiskey in more than 45 years when they released their bottling in 2019. The answer is Teeling. Teeling. Has the leaderboard say the same? Yes, John M and Zane and John Dempster, 1, 2, 3. Teeling, 18 of you got that right. Fantastic. All right, you know your stuff. All right, let me have a look at the comments on our live stream before we go on there now. All right, you're all too busy. Some of you have got some of them right. Okay, you're in there giving your feedback on the answers. This is just a reminder for those of you who are watching along, who would like to support our cause tonight. You can visit barrymademedoit.com to give us a donation, and it goes 100% to cancer research. So we're going to move on to our 9th question now of our distilleries round. 9th question coming up now. Are you ready? Here we go. The producers of America's favorite drink, White Claw, also own an Irish whiskey distillery. Is it Royal Oak Distillery, Powers Court Distillery, Glendalough Distillery, or Crawley Distillery? 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Pick an answer. Time's up. The answer is Glendalough Distillery. Mark Anthony Brands, the owner of White Claw, bought Glendalough Distillery. John M is leading. Zane is in second place. 11 of you got that right. Incidentally, White Claw was developed in Dublin, believe it or not. So shame on the Irish for developing this abomination of a drink, but it has made a fortune for Mark Anthony Brands, and they've taken some of that money and acquired Glendalough Distillery as well. So there is the Irish connection to White Claw, whether you like it or not. That was question number 9. So we're now down to the 10th question of our first round. Whoever is leading at the end of this round is going to win a green pass to Belfast Whiskey Week and a super sip box of glassware from Stories and Sips. So right now, John M is leading, and Zane is in second place. John Dempster in third. Who's going to be winning after this question? Are you ready? Let me just make sure. Yes, last question coming up here of this round. Go. Only one Irish whiskey distillery began its life distilling poitín. Is it Lochmask Distillery, Hinch Distillery, Killowan Distillery, or Mickle Distillery? 38 of you have answered. 39, 41. 2 seconds left. Time is up. The answer is Mickle. We had them on the lock-in last week in Galway. That is the answer. And the winner after this round is John M. John M is the first of our winners. The first of our winners. Well done, John. John M, congratulations. You are the winner of a green pass, thanks to Paul O'Kane at Belfast Whiskey Week. Tickets on sale now at belfastwhiskeyweek.com for the great events taking place there at the end of July. Green pass and super sip box, 4 glasses, etc. coming to you. John M, congratulations. Zane, you were pipped at the post there, but all is not lost because John can't win the prize on the next round. He can't win the prize on the next round if he's leading. So you might, if you can maintain at least your second place position, you might win it in the next round. All right, let's take a 2-minute break before we move on to our next question there. I'm going to stop the screen share. All right. Good man, John. Fair play to you. A big whiskey fan is John. So you're the first winner of our first round. Congratulations. Congratulations, all of you. You didn't do too bad. Anybody doing far worse than they thought they'd do? Or anybody doing far better than they thought they'd do? Caroline, you had a question earlier about the name Pelotonia. Where did it come from? And I know I've some of you have asked if it's any connection to the Peloton bike. It's not. And Pelotonia, the organization, was founded before the company Peloton came about. Peloton is a French word for a group of cyclists. So if you're a cyclist and you're training, you'll always talk about the peloton. It's the pack. So the pack moves together for aerodynamics and lower wind resistance, and it's called the peloton. And so when they created this organization, they wanted this idea of a community moving together in a pack. And so that's where the name Pelotonia came about. And so, yeah, there has been confusion with the brand Peloton ever since, but Pelotonia was first. So congratulations there, John. Let me see. I think we should do a spot prize. It's time to do a spot prize. So I'm going to do the first spot prize, which is a giveaway of a Stories and Sips Mini. A Stories and Sips Mini. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to make sure I have all of your names. Everyone who has donated, even a penny, is going to be on my list here. And I'm going to pull from this list. If you haven't already had a chance to make even $1 or a $2 or a $5 or any amount donation, you can do that right now. You can go to barrymademedoit.com, and that's where you can get your donation. And there, 100% of all the proceeds goes directly to Pelotonia and to cancer research. So let's do a little giveaway here now. And if you haven't already donated, you'll be in for the next spot prize. All right, so that's one round under the belt. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to. Oh, another one came in just before. We should add their name in. Here we go. Dan Gribb. Good man, Dan. Good man, the Dan. Right, we're adding you in. Actually, I'll get Mrs. Stories and Sips to point to a name. Close her eyes and point to a name. Point to a field. 1 second now, let me. Okay, you'll see a hand coming in.
Anywhere on these?
Yeah, anywhere on any of these. Okay, what name does it say?
Macula? Wait, look.
Yeah, Macula. Macula, is that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Joshua Gillooly, spot prize winner. Thank you, Mrs. Stories and Sips. That's the most you'll ever see of her finger coming into the side of the screen. Joshua Gillooly, good man. Thanks for your donation. And you are the winner of a mini story. All right. So let's have a look at our fundraising totals. This is the telethon, the Barrython, the Whiskeython. We have broken through $4,000, folks. Let me put this up on the screen. This is amazing. I can't believe it. I'm really, really blown away by this. Let me put this up here. No, it's the wrong one. Okay, let me share this one. Here we go. Boom. This is our total right now, $4,047. Folks, I'm convinced we're going to get to 5,000. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for all these donations, all going to an incredible, incredible cause. $4,047. We are almost at our $5,000 goal for today. Sound like NPR, WOSU, our daily goal. Just need 25 more sustaining members. Right, I'm going to have a sip of this Redbreast 21. And then, okay, Peter wants the code again. All right, let me put it up on the screen. Here it is, joinmyquiz.com, game code 462129. Mark Devlin, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you so much, Mark. You're getting added to the list. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, in 2 minutes, we're going to start round 2. And we'll see who's going to win the green pass. At the end of that, Zane Klaus is sitting on the edge of his seat. He's doing push-ups right now to get ready. Jason has poured a glass of the story. Good man. Hoping it gets you some brownie points. It doesn't get you any brownie points. It just gets you some satisfaction and some satiation. Joinmyquiz.com is where you go to log in to our quiz. Connor Ryan, thanks a million for your donation. Good man, Connor. Corkman. Down in Kinsale. Good man, Connor. And Kieran, thanks a million, Kieran. Kieran just ordered more Barry Made Me Do It t-shirts. So shopstoriesandsips.com, we're selling Barry Made Me Do It and fundraising t-shirts. So thanks a million for all of you who've purchased there. And Greg just made a donation. Thanks a million, Greg. Coming in hard and fast now. This is amazing. We'll get to 5,000 yet. We'll get to 5,000. Thanks so much, everyone. All right. Okay. Ed is in. Peter's in. All right. You ready for round 2? Remember, you can donate anytime at barrymademedouit.com. I am going to put the next round up on the screen now. Round number 2, which is... I can't even remember what any of these rounds are now at this stage. Next round is... Irish Whiskey Brands. Irish Whiskey Brands is our next round. So if you're ready to go, here we go. Next round starting now. This brand is known for its clean white labels, limited release bottling, and is run by a former Hong Kong boat-owning ex-pilot. I bet you didn't all know this. Who is the Hong Kong boat-owning ex-pilot? I wonder. Time is up. Time is up. The answer is W.D. O'Connell. W.D. O'Connell. His lovely white labels on his bill fill and his single malt. All right, the leader after that round is Zane. Zane has taken the lead. Good man, Zane. Determined to win his prize. 23 of you knew W.D. O'Connell was the answer there. Fair play. Yeah, Daithí O'Connell has had a remarkably colourful life and has lived many lives, as we all should, I suppose. And his new life, his life today, is making whiskey and sourcing whiskey and giving it to us in small batches. So W.D. O'Connell is the answer there. Next time you talk to Daithí, ask him about his boats in Hong Kong, and he'll tell you some great old stories. All right, next question. Question number 2 on Irish Whiskey Brands. This whiskey brand is run by a former drinks executive who has resurrected the lost art of whiskey bonding on the family farm. If you don't get this right now, you should leave the quiz. 9 seconds to go. 2 seconds, and your time is up. The answer, of course, is J.J. Corrie, run by Louise McGuan, our partner on The Story Irish Whiskey Where are we in the leaderboard? Zane is still up there. Zane is leading. But there's hope for all of you, because remember, you can't win every round, but you can contribute all the way to the end, or you can cumulatively get to the end, and you can win a round and win the prize at the end as well, the first prize or second prize. So this is really good. 39 of you got that right. That's the most resounding consensus we've had yet on the questions. MP Rainier, no, Mr. Rainier has not resurrected the lost art of bonding at all. He's resurrected the lost art of flavor and barley, though. All right, next question coming up in 3. With its history dating all the way back to 1912, this whiskey brand was known as the Priest's Tipple in Ireland. Is it Jameson, Powers, Green Spot, or Redbreast? 8 seconds to go. 6 seconds to go. 3 seconds to go. The answer is, of course, Redbreast. Redbreast was known as the Priest's Tipple. Has this changed the leaderboard in any way? It has not, except lower down the board. Zane is still leading. Lorcan Dunn clipping at his heels there, number 3. It's known as the Priest's Tipple because Gilbey's had the concession for altar wine with churches around the country, and so they would knock on the door, offer the priests up their altar wine, and then also say, hey, we've also got an old drop of whiskey here. Would you like to try it? And the priest said, I would, of course. And the priest tried the whiskey, loved the whiskey, and fell in love with the whiskey. And so the priest would always have a drop of Redbreast. And then when families around Ireland knew that that's what the priest liked, they'd save up their money and they'd have a bottle of Redbreast in the locked away in the cupboard, the back of the cupboard, in case the priest ever called round. And then they could serve up the priest his favorite drop, his tipple, and that'll get them closer to heaven. That's the answer there, Redbreast. Okay, next question coming up in 3. Which Irish whiskey brand boasts of a founding date of 1791? Is it Bushmills, Kilbeggan, Powers, or Jameson? 1791 founding date. Bushmills, Kilbeggan, Powers, or Jameson? 40 of you, 42 of you, 1 second up, and your time is up. The answer is Powers. Powers, 1791. James Power in his coaching inn before moving to the Powers Johns Lane Distillery. Zane is flying ahead. All of his attending all of our lock-ins and Ohio whiskey sessions is paying off for Zane. He's on track. If he can hold his lead now to win a green pass to Belfast Whiskey Week. Only 5 of you knew that answer. Only 5 of you. I knew that would be a bit tricky with the old distilleries that I listed, all which have old dates. For example, Bushmills claims, well, I won't give it away because it might be part of a future question. Kilbeggan, what do they say, 1757? Jameson, 1780. But Powers is 1791. 1791. All right, next question coming up on our whiskey brands. Which Irish whiskey brand is named for a mythological seal woman? A mythological seal woman. An odd thing to name a whiskey brand after, you might say. Is it Clonakilty of the Deep, the musical busker, the legendary Silky, or the Tipperary Terror? I thought that's what Kieran Quinn was called. The answer is the legendary Silky, or the legendary Dark Silky, named after this creature that comes out of the ocean and tempts men into the ocean. Some change on 5 and 6, but Zane and Lorcan up there for 1 and 3, and John not far. John there in second place, holding his top 3 position. Well, lots of you well familiar with the Silky. Fair play to you. I'd say more of us have seen a drop of the Silky in a glass than we've seen a Silky on the beach, and hopefully it stays that way. All right. How many questions is that there now in that round? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're going to question number 6 in our second round. Here we go. Next question. Too far ahead. Here it comes. Which of these whiskey brands boasts a permanent release that's bottled at a spine-tingling 65% ABV? Is it Middleton Very Rare, Two Stacks, Egan's Irish Whiskey, or Hinch? Which of these whiskey brands boasts a permanent release that's bottled at a spine-tingling, hand-sanitizing 65% ABV? Boom, time's up. The answer is 2 stacks with their Blender's Cut cask strength, 65%. Zane is looking untouchable, but Larkin Dunn, there's hope for you in 3rd place, because if Zane can keep his lead, John is eliminated from the round winning, and if Zane wins this round, Larkin, you might be up there for a prize in the next round. Fair play to you. Lots of you knew that. Middleton, very rare. The core release is always bottled at 40%. Some of the single casks and some of the special releases like Dargaelach and what else? Barry Crockett. Those have different ABVs, but 2 stacks is the only one with 65%. Egan's, I think, between 40 and 46%. And Hinch, we've yet to see their own whiskey, but their source whiskies are 40 to 43, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let me have a look at your comments in the chat. Steve's got Tyrconnell 10 in the glass right now. Hank Barnes says, what about the Sherry 12-year-old? Might be a previous question there. North Carolina. Hank is in North Carolina. Redbreast is holy water, says Chris. It is. Watchman wants me to hit restart. Refresh button. All right, here we go. We are going to go on to our next question. Martin Hilliard got the last 2 right. Good man, Martin. Here we go. Next question in our brands quiz, brands round. Which Irish single malt whiskey is partly matured in a seaweed-infused barrel? Is it Far Green single malt, Connemara single malt, Curragh single malt, or Dingle single malt? Which Irish single malt whiskey is partly matured in a seaweed-infused barrel? Make a guess. Boom. Time's up. The answer is the Curragh single malt whiskey. The Curragh single malt. Zane, John, Larkin, and Eamon. Eamon in 4th place there with great scores. If you're not in the top 3, don't worry, or the top 4, the top 5, it doesn't matter. We're going to give away spot prizes as well after every round, and then a few more things at the end as well. We'll give these prizes away. So we'll try and get as many prizes into as many of your hands as we possibly can. All right, next question coming up in 3. Which of these Irish whiskies includes oats in the mash bill? Oats. Is it Dunville's 3 Crowns, Method and Madness Acacia, Drumshanbo Single Pot Still, or Drumbeg Original? Tough enough to find these in the United States. Some of them you can. Not super easy. Time's up. The answer is Drumshanbo Single Pot Still. Drumshanbo Single Pot Still. Has this changed our leaderboard? It has not. The leaderboard has remained the same. 26 of you got that right. About half of you. Good stuff. Drumshanbo is a new single pot still whiskey that was released recently by the Shed Distillery in County Leitrim, and we expect to see a lot more from them. Drumshanbo single pot still. All right, next question coming up in 3. Which Irish whiskey brand is named for an Irish president and the founder's family name? Is it De Valera's Special Sauce, Macaleese Special Reserve, Hillary Pot Still, or Hyde Irish Whiskey? 6 seconds. And your time's up. The answer is Hyde Irish Whiskey. Conor Hyde started the company, and he also shares the name with Ireland's first president. Oh, 3rd and 4th place have switched. Eamon Hegarty has taken over from Larkin Dunn, putting Larkin's entire existence as an Irish whiskey fan in jeopardy. 30 of you got that. Fair play. To the 8 of you who think it's De Valera's Special Sauce, I would like to meet you for a drink because you seem like great crack. All right, let's move on to our next question. There have not been very many Irish presidents. There's only been about 8, 9 Irish presidents. We're not yet up to the 46 that the US has. Next question coming up now. Which Irish whiskey brand features a toad prominently on its label? Oh, so many of you quick out of the mark with that. Quick out of the gate. Is it Peaky Blinders, Muff Irish Whiskey, Red Earl, or Natterjack? Which Irish whiskey brand features a toad prominently on its label? The answer, of course, is Natterjack. So for the toad lovers amongst you, you've got your whiskey. Natterjack Irish Whiskey. Nothing has changed in the top 7. Zane, John, Eamon. Eamon pulling away from Lorcan there. He's about 20 points away. Lorcan, you gotta get your fingers moving faster. 41 of you got that right. None of you said Muff, maybe thinking that it's not an Irish whiskey and were thrown by its unusual name, but it is in fact an Irish whiskey as well. Aha, that is the end of that round. That is the end of that round, which means Zane is the winner because John Maritko obviously won the last round, but that is the end of our round number 2. Zane Klaus, Ohio man, you are the winner of our Belfast Whiskey Week Green Pass. Belfast Whiskey Week Green Pass and a super sip box with 4 Irish whiskey glasses, 4 Tua glasses, Stories and Sips Tua glasses. Let me stop the screen share there. And yeah, you're going to get the Green Pass for the Whiskey Week, 4 of these glasses as well. So now Zane and John, 2 of you have won prizes and you are ineligible for the next round to win, but you could hold your places and still win first and second overall. So well done, Zane. Well done. Fair play to you. Fantastic. Zane Klaus says he's here to drink Guinness and win whiskey, and he's all out of Guinness. Good man. All right, we'll take a 2-minute pause here. This is the telethon part again, where I remind you all that we're raising money here for cancer research. I'm going to ride 100 miles on this bike that I've positioned behind me. I'm trying to raise a minimum of $5,000 and a stretch goal of $10,000, 100% of which goes to fund high-risk, high-reward cancer research that takes place in Ohio and as of the last year or two, further afield in other cancer hospitals and research institutes that can do very high-risk, high-reward studies and find new innovative ways to target cancer. So to donate to our wonderful work that's being done by the doctors and the researchers at the James Cancer Hospital and the Solov Research Institute and further afield, as Pelotonia deems fit to donate to certain projects, you just go to barrymademedoit.com, barrymademedoit.com. Let me give a shout out to a few of the last donations that came in. Thank you so much to Hank. I think that's another donation from you, Hank, because I think you've already donated. Thanks a million for that. Fantastic. Who else have we got here? Brian McAllister. Thanks a million. Brian, I'm going to write you down here as well. Brian McAllister, thank you. Jennifer Bokovoy, Jennifer, thank you so much for your donation. And Greg, thanks a million for your donation. So let's have a look at where we are now, and then we'll give away a spot prize. All right, let's do the old refresh. Folks, we're going to do it. We're going to get to 5,000. We are now at drum roll. $4,282. Amazing. $4,282. We are $718 away from our $5,000 goal. If we reach $5,000, we have achieved something incredible. And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going until we get to $10,000. And then we're not going to stop until the fundraising deadline is up in November. But we're going to keep raising money and using, maybe creating some fun events with different brands over the next few months too. So thank you so much for all of your donations. This is amazing. Caroline Brannigan is drinking Natterjack. Fantastic. Richard Agnew says the Cleveland Clinic does a pretty good job in Ohio too. Yeah, absolutely they do. Amazing work that's taking place in Cleveland and Columbus around cancer treatment and cancer research. Ed says it should be a spot prize, green, yellow, red, or blue. Okay, so here's how we're going to do 2 spot prizes this time. Let me stop the sharing of that screen. So the first spot prize, I'm going to give away a book. I'm going to give away Craft Cocktails. Craft Cocktails. This is a collection of recipes and stories from Ireland's leading spirit makers. And I have written down every single person who's donated. And we are going to drop my pen onto, very scientifically, we're going to drop my pen onto my sheet, and whichever name is pointing, this nib is pointing at, is going to win it. And that is Irish Wolfhound Mom, Kelly Ryan. Kelly Ryan is the winner of our second spot prize of our cocktail book. Kelly Ryan, congratulations. Now, Kelly Ryan, Craft Cocktails. Okay, so that's that one given away. Now, I want to give away another bottle of the story, and here's how we're going to give this one away. We'll do this at the end of the next round, but to be in with a chance to win this, I'm asking you for something a little bit extra here. I'm asking for another donation of $3 or more. $3, it can be $3. Anyone who donates from now, $3 is going to be chosen, is going to be in with a chance to win this. So only the people who donate $3 are going to get a chance to win this. I know I'm being cheeky and you've donated amazingly already, but we're here to win money, or to win whiskey and prizes and raise money for cancer research. So if you go to Barry Made Me Do It in the next 2 or 3 minutes and donate $3 or more, then I'll choose the name from all of those donations out of a hat. And I know I'm asking you to go and donate again and pull up the link, Barry Made Me Do It, and put your details in again. We're raising money for cancer research. I won't apologize for the pressure, but that's how we're going to give this one away. As simple as that. As simple as that. $3 minimum donation, please. The first person, we'll keep an eye out for those donations as they come in. I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. A Cork man being cheeky, says Chris. Who'd have thought? And if we only get 2 people to donate $3, it's still $6, you know? And 100% goes to cancer research. None of it comes to anybody else, and none of it's taken for salaries, and none of it's taken for administration costs. All right, I'm going to give you 2 more minutes or 3 more minutes to be able to make those donations. Let me see. I'm still sipping on the Redbreast 21-year-old. What's in your glass? What are you drinking? All right. Bill says if we all gave another $10, he'd be real close to the $5,000. Well, Bill, that's a very good idea. I'm not done with ideas for extracting money from your wallets yet either for over the course of the night. I remember being at an auction years ago, charity auction, and there was a great MC hosting the night, and he was trying to get the bids up on every single item. You know, it was his job to raise the money for charity. I remember he came to the table and he said, "Any more bids?" And we said, "Oh no, we've already bid." And he goes, "Come on, bid more, bid more." And we said, "No, listen, we've reached the maximum, this amount." And he leaned in and he said, "Lads, you can always make more money on Monday." And sure enough, didn't we bid a little bit higher? He put the pressure on us. You have to reward the old, the bit of pressure. It's all going to a good cause. Thank you for 2, 3 more donations have come in. Amazing. Jason Norris, thank you so much. Jonathan Boyle, amazing. Aaron Lee, wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. Folks, I mean, this is amazing. None of you listened to me and gave me just $3. You all gave more. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Jason and Aaron, and another one came in, Catherine Redden. Thank you so much. Amazing. All right, we're writing all these names down. We're going to get there, folks. We're going to get to 5,000. Aaron Lee, thanks a million. Jonathan Boyle. So we'll kick off now our 3rd round, folks. And Jason, so you are all 4 of you. 5. Here's another one. Jason Murphy. Okay. I will, any donation that comes in between now and the next round is going to be in the chance to give. I'm going to give away, you know what? I'm going to give away two of these. One to each person. 2 winners. Thank you so much. Hank Barnes, again. Hank, we're emptying your wallet. You're incredible. Edward, thank you so much. Edward Stodgill as well. Thanks a million. Jeez, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Richard says, would anyone throw more into the hat if we saw Mrs. Stories and Sips? Oh, this could be a good one. Could we bid on having Mrs. Stories and Sips come and give a wave? That might happen. It's for cancer research.
I'll donate.
She says she'll donate rather than come on the screen herself. Does that mean you'll match any donation they make to not come on the screen?
Yes.
It's coming out of the one pot.
Yes, I will.
That'll be me and you donating together.
That's fine.
All right, folks, get your trigger fingers ready for our 3rd round. And thank you so much for the donations that are coming in. I'll keep an eye on those. And after the next round, we'll give away 2 of the story, 2 miniatures of the story. Thank you, Thomas Smith. Another donation coming in. This is unreal. All right, I'm going to put the quiz back up. Thank you to Bill Walsh with the donation. All right, so if you're just joining and you want to participate, you go to joinmyquiz.com. You see the details on the top of the screen. Enter the code 462129, and you could be in with a chance of winning some great prizes, spot prizes, and leader prizes at the end of each round. And then also, you could be the winner of our first and second place prize. Before we start this next round, I want to again thank our fantastic sponsors, our partners. Belfast Whisky Week, Paul O'Kane. Please support Belfast Whisky Week. This is the hardest working man in Irish whiskey, who's out there every day doing videos and live streams, and has got 80 plus events for Belfast Whisky Week, virtually and in person. And he's donated 5 green passes. Incidentally, the 5th round is the round where you want to win, but you want to be the leader, because at the 5th round, you could get the green pass, and by leading the 5th round, you are, of course, the winner of the night. So that's the big one to win. If you're the leader at the end, if you're the winner tonight, you'll get the green pass as well. So thank you to Belfast Whisky Week, to Paul O'Kane. Thank you most graciously and sincerely to Irish Malts, to John at Irish Malts for donating a bottle of Middleton Very Rare 2020. Thank you to Folsom Wine and Spirits for their very kind donation of a bottle of Red Earl Irish whiskey, 2 stacks, dram in a can, and a miniature of the story as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Martin says he's not finding the link just for a donation. It's at the bottom of the screen, scrolling along there. I'll keep that up all night. You can donate to barrymademedoit.com, barrymademedoit.com. Okay, folks, here we go. In 5 seconds, we're going to start our next question. We're going to start our next round. And this round is all about Irish whiskey history. This is going to test you. Now, the leaderboard could change with this one, because some of these are tricky. And I've thrown in a few cleverly worded questions to throw you off the scent. So here we go. Round number 3. The first record of the precursor to Irish whiskey, aqua vitae, the water of life, was discovered in Ireland in which year? The first record of Irish whiskey. Was it 1406, 1765, 1324, or 1166? Time is up, and the answer is 1324. 1324. Has that changed our leaderboard? Oh, no ice has gone up and it moved into 3rd place. No ice. 14 of you got that right. The first recorded mention of aqua vitae, the water of life, Ishkabaha, is in 1324 in a book called the Red Book of Ossary. And this is where it gets very interesting for us in our Facebook group and Stories and Sips, because Ossary, the parish of Ossary, is in County Kilkenny. And County Kilkenny is the birthplace, really, of Irish whiskey. And what else is in the parish of Ossary? Only the castle we've been looking at through our Facebook group. So it turns out that the castle is located right in the parish where the first record of Irish whiskey, or whiskey distilled spirit, was found in 1324. How about that? So that's an interesting one. Okay, next question. Question number 2 in our history round. In which year did Powers, Jameson, and the Cork Distilleries Company merge to become Irish Distillers Limited? Was it 1966, 1918, 1996, or 1945? 5 seconds to go. Make a guess if you don't know the answer. Time is up. The answer is 1966. 1966. Has that changed our leaderboard? No change in the top 3 there now. No ice is up there at number 3. You're all great on your history. 1966. Interestingly enough, that merger was not the first merger related to these 3 companies. The Cork Distilleries Company itself, 100 years prior to that, was itself a formation and of the merger of a number of Cork distilleries. So in 1866, the Cork Distilleries Company was founded as a merger. And in 1966, it itself merged in with Jameson and Powers to create Irish Distillers Limited. So, fair play to you for knowing that history. We talk about it a lot. A monumental year. Also the year that England won the World Cup. All right, next question. In which year did the Old Middleton Distillery begin distilling? 1744, 1745, 1845, or 1825? Have a guess if you don't know the answer. And your time is up. The answer is 1825. 1825 is the year the first distillation happened at the Old Middleton Distillery. No change in the top five. Aaron Lee, though, moving into sixth place. Lorcan Dunn slipping away there, Lorcan. He might have fallen asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning in Ireland and slipped off the couch with a glass of whiskey in his hand. But I'd say the glass of whiskey is still standing. 15 of you got that right, 1825. So right now the Middleton Distillery is releasing every year a very expensive bottle of whiskey called the Silent Distillery, and each year is a different chapter. So we're on chapter number 2 now. There'll be chapter number 3 next year, going all the way up to chapter number 6 in the year 2025 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the Middleton Distillery. So a place of worship for whiskey fans. All right, are you ready for the next question in our history round? Who famously gave his name to rename the Cork Distilleries Company Map of Ireland Old Irish Whiskey in 1913? Who famously gave his name to rename the Cork Distilleries Company Map of Ireland Old Irish Whiskey in 1913? Was it Jim Mack, Paddy Flaherty, Billy Lighton, or John Teeling? Time's up. The answer is Paddy Flaherty or Patrick O'Flaherty, Patrick J. O'Flaherty. Does that change the leaderboard? It does not. Sounds like you all knew that one. Yes, 39 of you knew the answer to that. Paddy Flaherty. In 1913, he was offered a little bit of money. He was paid for the rest of his life in order to use his name and his likeness on the bottle of Paddy Irish Whiskey, because that Cork Distilleries Company Map of Ireland Old Irish Whiskey is a bit of a mouthful, and the bar owners that were ordering the whiskey had taken to ordering it as Paddy's Whiskey anyway, because he was going around the bars and the highways and byways and the trains and the coaches around Cork, East Cork and West Cork, buying people their Paddy Irish Whiskey, and everyone just knew it as Paddy's Whiskey. So they'd write letters to the distillery asking for a case or two of Paddy's Whiskey. So by 1913, they thought, we might as well name it for the best salesman we ever had. All right, let me have a look at your comments in the live stream. How are we doing here? Stacy hates this round. It's okay. There's some easier ones coming up too. Greg is overthinking some of these. Sometimes it's just as easy to do a 25% odds, and just hit one as fast as you possibly can. For those of you still looking for the link, you can go to barrymademeduo.com, barrymademeduo.com to donate. And if you'd like to join the quiz and you haven't yet tuned in, you can go to joinmyquiz.com and enter the code 462129. Both of those details are on the screen. They'll stay on the screen. The donation link is along the bottom, and the join the quiz link is on the leaderboard right at the top. Chris is definitely staying in the middle of the pack, and Anne-Marie says she lost it again. Don't worry. You might be with a chance of winning with a donation and a spot prize as well in the next round. Stacey says she's struggling to stay in 9th place. All right, here we go. We're moving on to our next question. How many have we left in this round? Let me see. Okay, we got a few to go yet. All right, here we go. Next question coming up in 3. In what year was a royal tax on malted barley applied to Ireland? The malt tax, as it is famously known. Many believe it was what helped catapult single pot still whiskey forward, a mixture of malted and unmalted barley. 1762, 1779, 1785, or 1789? I mean, honestly, you'd have a 1 in 4 chance of getting this right. The answer is 1785. 1785. No change at the top. Lorcan Dunn is in 5th place there, 1785. 18 of you knew this. We've got the history buffs here tonight. Or we've got those who just close their eyes and press the button. 1785. That tax didn't last very long, but the whiskey that it produced or prompted or provoked or accelerated certainly stuck around and became the chosen whiskey of the world's population. Pot still whiskey taking the world by storm. And I think we're in that second renaissance of pot still whiskey now at the moment, I think. Next question coming up. In 1890, this distillery's steamship left Ireland laden with whiskey bound for America. Which distillery owned the ship? Was it Jameson's Bow Street Distillery, Powers John's Lane Distillery, the Old Bushmills Distillery, or the Middleton Distillery? Which distillery's steamship left Ireland laden with whiskey bound for America? The time's up. The answer is the Old Bushmills Distillery. The Old Bushmills Distillery had a steamship called the SS Bushmills. Zane, John, and no ice up there. Oh, look at you all. 29 of you knew the answer to that. The SS Bushmills steamed west to the United States, dropped off some whiskey before heading further west onto Hong Kong and Singapore and the Far East. The SS Bushmills. And you'll see some of that is at the steamship collection of Bushmills. You'll see the SS Bushmills memorialized, a little hat tip to it. All right, get ready for the next question in our history round. In which year did Bushmills celebrate its 400th anniversary? Which year did Bushmills celebrate its 400th anniversary? 1988, 1788, 2008, or 2018? 5 seconds to go on that. If you don't know the answer, just close your eyes and press a button. Time is up. The answer, of course, 2008. Every bottle of Bushmills bears the year 1608 as the year they claim to have started distilling. No change on the top 7 there. 29 of you knew the answer. You got that right. We won't argue with the facts because the story is better than the facts, I think. There was a license granted to a distillery in the area in 1608. It would be another 150 years before the Bushmills distillery itself was founded, but they have managed very cleverly and creatively to claim the 1608 year. And I suppose there's none of us was around back then to be able to prove otherwise or to argue with them. So they're going with it, and they're doing well on it. Next question coming up on our history round. Which of these distilleries was part of the famous Cork Distilleries Company? The South Mall Distillery, the North Mall Distillery, the East Mall Distillery, or the West Mall Distillery? This feels like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I feel like we need to phone a friend. South, North, East, or West? You have a 1 in 4 chance. Time's up. The answer is the North Mall Distillery. The North Mall Distillery is the answer. Has this changed the leaderboard? Oh, no. Holding on tight. Zane. Look at Zane. No Ice in 3rd place. I have no idea who No Ice is. I hope No Ice has a real name and an address for his package that he might be getting. If he keeps hold of his 3rd place, he'll get a green pass to Belfast Whiskey Week. Yeah, that's a tough one. North Mall. Oh, wait, now, what's that showing? East Mall. That's wrong. That's incorrect. North Mall, East Mall. Okay, well, the leaderboard didn't change. You're staying where you are, but North Mall Distillery is the right answer there. I don't know why that came up. East Mall. Please forgive me. We have one mistake. It didn't change the leaderboard, and if you'd like to lodge a formal complaint, you can do so in writing. North Mall Distillery is the right answer. There's always one that goes wrong, isn't there? As long as it's the only one. Okay, next question coming up. In 2012, this distillery was the first independent new distillery built in Ireland in more than a century. And this is the last question in this round. So if No Ice can hold his 3rd place and John and Zane stay in 1st and 2nd, No Ice is going to be the winner of this round. The answer, of course, the Dingle Distillery. Dingle Distillery is the answer here. Dingle. No Ice. No Ice. You are the winner here in this round. No Ice. Congratulations. Congratulations. John says it's saying North Mal is correct. Yeah, hopefully it says North on yours. Maybe there's something, maybe there's a glitch. The North Mal is the right answer, and Dingle is the right answer here. That's green. It's supposed to show the green as being the correct answer. John says it's telling him North Mal is incorrect. And one other's, okay. In any case, no ice. Who's no ice? Lorcan says, fix North Mal. Missed my points. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. Okay, Steve says there's one more. My screen says 29 of 50. Is there one more? Let me see. Let me see. Is there one more? 29 of 50. Technology, folks. Technology. I'm only one Bushmills or one Redbreast 21 in. Maybe there's one more. Is there one more? Oh, look, they changed these around. I think it might have shuffled one. You know what? There's one more. No ice. No ice. You're not getting it yet. Who's no ice? Name yourself. Show yourself. All right. All right, there's one more. Fair play. Thanks, folks. One more. Okay. Bear with me here as I juggle these. Sorry about that. Okay. No ice. I should go back in the coffee and drop the whiskey. I don't think it's going to change the leaderboard, but you never know. If somebody's very fast out of the gate, Zane Klaus had North Mal as well. Okay, so some of you, it's showing green. Others to you, it's showing red. In any case, that question didn't change the leaderboard. We're now going on to our final question of this round then. Okay, there's one more left. One more left. Richard, are you no ice, I wonder? Who's no ice? See, the problem now is once we get one mistake, there'll be 20 of them. All right, Larkin says I'm grand. Okay, thanks, Larkin. I get very worried when things go wrong. We try and uphold very high standards here. The standards slip as the whiskey goes down. As the whiskey slips down the throat, the standards slip with it. All right, one more question. Are you ready? Here we go. The 30th question then. Here we go. In 1909, a fire destroyed half of this distillery and more than 500,000 gallons of its whiskey. Was it Old Bushmills, Dunvilles, McConnell's, or Ecklenville? It's a Northern Irish distillery. Which one was destroyed by fire? Half of it wiped out and more than 500,000 gallons of the whiskey destroyed. Time's up. The answer is McConnell's Irish whiskey. McConnell's is the correct answer. And that ends our last round. Hey, no ice. Got that and moved up into second place. The second place, and Eamon Hegarty on fourth. Great stuff. McConnell's is the right answer. McConnell's is the right answer. All right, that is the end of our third round. So congratulations, no ice. I'm going to write down here no ice, but you're going to have to message me your real name. Or we have no way to get hold of you. No ice. So no ice, you are the winner of a Green Pass to Belfast Whiskey Week, thanks to Paul O'Kane. And you are the winner of a super sip box of 4 Tua glasses, Stories and Sips Tua glasses, coasters, pipettes, and all kinds of goodies. All kinds of goodies. It's Watchman 999, I think, is it? Watchman 999. All right, we'll get hold of you, whoever no ice is. Tommy Smith says he's learning a lot tonight. And Marie couldn't get her donation in time. You've got another minute or two there, and we'll do a drawing for 2 of the stories, the miniature stories. Let me stop sharing this screen here. All right. We had some mistakes, but we recovered. And I'm, of course, going to say that to make myself look better. But anyway, North Mal is the right answer, despite what the computer tells us. All right, so let me see. So many new donations have come in. Thanks a million. Greg Calderon, thank you so much for your donation. Stacey Stearns, another donation. Thank you so much. Bill Walsh, another donation. Robert Meacham, thank you. Thomas Smith, thank you. Daniel Hickey, thank you. Michael Mullen, thank you. Michael Murray, thank you as well. Amazing. Let us have a look at where we stand on our leaderboard now. Our fundraising screen, I mean. I'm getting very excited. Okay, so let's refresh this screen. It was $4,282. Folks, look at this, $4,492. We're $500 away from our goal, folks. $500 away. Woo! 3 rounds in, 2 rounds to go, more prizes to give away. Thank you so much. This is incredible. This is incredible. Almost at $4,500. Woo! Amazing. Amazing. Jason Norris says he self-identifies as no ice, but we're going to need proof of that. Everyone's going to be claiming to be no ice by the end of this. Declan Romani says, me and my wife are no ice. Listen, you're all claiming to be no ice. This is like when somebody leaves something in their will to a long-lost relative. If they could only find a long-lost relative, and suddenly 10 million people come out of the woodwork and go to a small town in Arkansas and say, I'm the relative, give me the money. We're going to need we're going to need some proof of the no ice. Brian Campbell says he's no ice. Listen, how are we going to prove it? Watchmen is all ice. There's going to be some scramble now to be giving out a prize for that 3rd round. Lorcan Dunn, the cheek, accusing me of falling asleep. I've surged 10 pints of Guinness and doing very well. Good man, Lorcan. Good man. Is there a prize for last? We might have to have a prize for last. Kieran says he's no ice. Listen, you can't all be no ice. Zane, another donation from Zane. Thanks a million. Zane feeling flush, feeling flahuluk after his win, his 2nd round win, has made another donation. Thanks a million, Zane. All right, so let us do a drawing for... listen, you're going to have to battle out and figure out how you're going to prove that you're no ice. I'll leave it up to you. Okay, Richard Agnew wants to know the total now. What's the total now? It was 4492. Yeah, still 4492 as of just a minute ago. Maybe it's going to... 4497. We're at 4497. Another $5 came in. Thank you very much. For those of you who are just joining and want to donate 100% to cancer research, we are using tonight our platform and our very nice community to raise money for cancer research. Almost $4,500 has been raised. We're going to get to 5,000 by the end of the night. I'm determined to, and we're going to blast our way through it. And the lock-in isn't going to end until we get there, put it that way. All right, what do we have to do next? Oh yes, we have to give away some prizes. Okay, so let me write down all of the names of everyone who just donated there quickly, and we're going to give away 2 of the story. 2 miniature bottles of the story. Whoa, more donations coming in. Greg Anderson is in with another donation. Okay, Greg, I'm going to write these down. Bear with me, this is a one-man show. Well, it's really 2 men because Mrs. Stories and Sips does all the hard work. Greg C. Stacy, this is amazing. Thank you so much for all of these donations. I'm going to give away 2 of the story. And I'll be in touch with all of you after tonight, tomorrow most likely, for your prizes. Thomas Smith. And this won't be the only fundraiser we'll do. And you might be sick of me raising money for cancer research and maybe offering events. There's no obligation to anybody to participate at any time. You only do it if you can, if you want to, if you're open to it. I'm going to try and bring some brands on board to host some events with them. And maybe we'll get some whiskeys shipped to people in return for some tastings and things like that, and in return for some donations. So we'll do lots more. We'll get to this $10,000 by the end of the year. No doubt about it. All right, I have all the names written down. And just as I think I do, more came in. Janique, Leslie Calderon, thank you so much. Another one came in. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I can't keep up. I think we've just blown through our 4,500. Let me have a look. We're almost at 4,600. We're doing it. We're doing it. Let me put up the link here again on the screen. Barry, it's always at the bottom of the screen, barrymademedoit.com, barrymademedoit.com, and the link for the game, for the quiz, joinmyquiz.com, joinmyquiz.com. But the donation link will stay on the screen. Greg says it's cutting into his castle money now. You can always make more money on Monday. I like that you're all asking Steve for links, as if Steve is up here putting links on the software. Poor Steve is being assaulted because he's the admin of our group. I'm juggling 6 hands here, putting them up. There we go. BarryMadeMeDoIt.com on the bottom of the screen, and joinmyquiz.com to join in. All right, so let's pull 2 names by, again, doing a very scientific drop of the pen, and wherever this points, you're going to win a miniature of the story. Oh, that fell off the thing. All right, do it again. Greg Calderon, you are the winner of a miniature of the story. Greg Calderon getting in there with his donation. Mini story. Thank you so much. Congratulations. I'd write your name on it, but you might feel like it devalues it. So this will go to you. You're not too far away from me, I don't think, here in California. We'll get that to you legally. We'll find ways to do these things legally. Good man. All right. And the second of the winners will be, let me draw again now. Got the other names here. Here we go. Very scientific. We're going to drop the pen. Hank, you are the winner of a miniature of the story. And Hank, you've given an amazing amount of money tonight. So I'm glad that you came out of that one. Hank Barnes, congratulations. Thank you so much. We're doing it, folks. We're raising money. We're going to end cancer. Not ourselves personally, but we're going to donate all this money. It's going to be amazing. All right. So Hank Barnes, you are the winner. Miniature of the story. We'll be in touch. We'll get all your details and we will get these to you. Mini story. All right. Let's do, what else have we got? We got more things here too. Did I give away the red breast yet? I didn't. All right. Let me do another giveaway because more donations are coming in. Anne-Marie's given us another donation. All right. We are going to do another drawing. This time, everyone who has donated up to now is eligible to win. You don't have to donate anything extra. So I'm now going to donate a tri-pack of Redbreast, which will be shipped from Folsom Wine and Spirits. Redbreast 12, Redbreast Listowel, and Redbreast 15-year-old. We're going to do another giveaway here now with that. Spot prize of all the names here. I'm going to lay this out. I'm going to throw the pen up in the air. Aaron Lee, you are the winner. Aaron Lee is the winner of our Redbreast tri-pack. Congratulations, Aaron. Unreal. All the donations that are coming in. Fantastic. Kieran Quinn, go to barrymademedoit.com if you're looking for it, just directly, barrymademedoit.com. We'll take you there. barrymademedoit.com. We are now at, let me see, what's our most recent total? We're almost at $4,600, $4,582. We're $400 away from our $5,000 goal, folks. We're going to do it yet tonight. All right. So let us move on to our fourth round. I'm going to pour another drop of something, the last of the Redbreast 21 here. Last of the Redbreast 21. Okay. Which one next? I can choose between the Bushmills 2008 Moscatel cask or Method and Madness Acacia. Which one should I put in my glass next? And you don't have to bid or donate to suggest, but I'll take your suggestions, whichever one comes in with the most suggestions. And then we're going to move on to our fourth round, which is going to be how Irish whiskey is made. How Irish whiskey is made. Method and Madness coming up on top so far. Method and Madness. Bushmills. So, fourth round is how Irish whiskey is made. Method and Madness, I think, seems to be the consensus from most of you. All right, Method and Madness it is. Method and Madness. All right, this is the Acacia wood. I love a drop of Acacia. Influenced whiskey. Very, very different. Single pot still whiskey. Anywhere from 6 to 9 years of age, approximately. Ex-bourbon, ex-sherry barrels, and then finished in Acacia wood. So Irish whiskey doesn't have to just be aged in one type of wood, like oak. It can be aged in many types of oak, or many types of wood, such as Acacia. Wouldn't be good for long-term aging, but good for maturation. Oh, just a very different, this now, the Acacia and the chestnut, French chestnut to me are wonderful noses to them. Richard says, I think Bushmills did an Acacia would finish too. They did. They did. Was that the distillery exclusive, perhaps? All right, folks, let's get ready for round number 4. I think you're all signed in, tuned in, and there's the game code on the screen. I'll put it back up now when I share the screen. So we're going on to round number 4. And remember, if you've won a previous round, you're not eligible to win this round's prizes. So that means that you could come in 3rd or 4th place and still win this round. All right, here we go. All right, so we are going into round number 4, how Irish whiskey is made. Question number 30. You'll quickly get me right if I'm wrong. Declan says, lovely on the nose, disappointing on the palate. Let me have a sip. It's always it always feels kind of seaweedy to me. Kind of a green seaweed, Cork Harbour seaweed. Clean seaweed, mind you, but there's kind of an umami saltiness to it. But you're right, great nose in it, and I need a few more sips to tell you what I think about the palate of it. 31, question 31. All right. Well, they come up in an automated order anyway, and let's hope we get it right. But here, sure, look, we'll figure it out. Here we go. Next question. How Irish whiskey is made. 3, 2. What percentage of malted barley must Irish single pot still whiskey contain? Is it at least 30%, no more than 30%, more than 50%, less than 25%? That can be a bit tricky. What percentage of malted barley must Irish single pot still whiskey contain? 1 second to go, and your time's up. The answer is at least 30%. Minimum of 30%. All right, no change at the top, meaning Eamon Hagerty in 4th place could get this. At least 30%. You're right. 25, you got that right. At least 30%. The definition says that it must contain, single pot still whiskey must contain a minimum of 30% malted barley, a minimum of 30% unmalted barley, and up to 5% other, meaning oats, rye, wheat, whatever grain, maize, whatever you'd like to put in there as well. Okay, next question in our How Irish Whiskey is Made round. Question number 2 of round number 4. Irish whiskey must be distilled 3 to 4 times, twice, 3 times. Can be continuously distilled twice or 3 times distilled. Take your pick. If you don't know the answer, have a guess. Have a guess. Time is up. Many people think that Irish whiskey must be triple distilled, and it doesn't have to be triple distilled. There is continuous distillation in single grain whiskey. There is double distillation in Waterford Distillery, triple distillation in Middleton. 19 of you got that right. The myth of triple distillation is incorrect. 19 of you knowing that it can be continuously distilled twice or 3 times distilled. All right. Let us move on to the next question. Here we go. How long must Irish whiskey be matured for it to be called Irish whiskey? For to be called Irish whiskey. Typo. Is it 3 years and a day, 2 years, 6 months, at least 3 years, a minimum of 3 years and a day? And the answer is at least 3 years. Minimum of 3 years. Not a day. 3 years, the answer. No change in the top 5 there. Or 6, Eamon Hegarty, looking like he could come in there. At least 3 years. Yes, you all knew that. Most of you knew it anyway. At least 3 years. The 3 years in a day is a nice soundbite, but it's not legally sound. Okay, we are going to move on now to our next question in our How Irish Whiskey is Made round. What is the predominant grain used in Bushmills, Jameson, and Tullamore Dew? What is the predominant grain used? Is it barley, oats, maize, or rye? Barley, oats, maize, or rye? If you don't know the answer, pick a color that's your favorite and go with that one. And your time is up. The answer is maize, corn, maize. There's more of that used in those whiskies than any other. Does that change our leaderboard? John Dempster pushes Eamon Hegarty out of the way. Barley is not the right answer. 6, maize is the right answer, the predominant grain. There is more maize used. Now, let me go to the comments on the live stream where you can abuse me on that one. Yes, trick question, says Chris. Trick question. It is. I tried to slip you up there. There is obviously those whiskies. Bushmills, Jameson, Tullamore Dew are blends. Bushmills is a blend of maize and single malt. Jameson is a blend of maize and single pot still. And Tullamore Dew is a blend of single malt, single pot still, and maize. But the predominant grain in all of those whiskies is maize. Corn, maize. Yep. That's the predominant grain. A higher percentage of that than any other. Richard Agnew says, maize! You can abuse me if you like in the comments, but I do believe that is correct. The stories we hear are all about barley, aren't they? We don't often hear about the maize. Okay, moving on to the next question. That one might have changed things a bit. All right, so next question in our How Irish Whiskey is Made. You fell for my my trick question trap. Next question. Which type of whiskey production produces a higher ABV spirit? It's one or the other. You got 2 choices here. Is it copper pot distillation or column still distillation? Which type of whiskey production produces a higher ABV spirit? Copper pot still distillation or column still distillation? And your time is up. The answer is column still distillation. So pot still distillation will give us whiskey anywhere from 75 to 85% approximately ABV. Column still distillation will be 92 to 98% ABV, very high alcohol content. Column still distillation, 33 of you got that right. Good job. 33 of you got that right. That leaderboard came and went so fast, I didn't even see it. Not sure if anything has changed there in the top. Okay, how many more questions do we have on this round? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more questions in this round. Okay, here we go. Next question. How Irish whiskey is made. Which is the odd one out when it comes to distillation? Heads, legs, tails, or heart? Heads, legs, tails, or heart? Which is the odd one out when it comes to distillation? And the answer is legs is the odd one out. Legs is the odd one out. Heads, tails, and heart are all cuts of the distillate. Here's the leaderboard. John Dempster in 4th place there. Could be cleaning up. Legs, 25, you got that right. So a distillate comprises of really 3 cuts. The heart of the distillate is the piece that really contains the majority of the ethanol, the flavor. That's the bit we want. We want to bring that through distillation. The heads and the tails are pieces that get cut out during the cut stage of distillation that contain undesirable elements. Maybe they are some of the oils or fatty acids that we don't want. And so the heart is the piece that comes forward. Legs, you'll hear of wine legs and the oils on the glass. When you roll your glass around, you'll see those wine legs, but they're, in whiskey terms, we might call those whiskey tears, but there's no legs in distillation. No legs in distillation. All right, let me have a look at your comments. Martin says, on the tour, I don't remember Jameson talking about maize. They talk about malted and unmalted barley. Yeah, it's not a thing that's commonly talked about because the maize doesn't come from Ireland. The maize predominantly comes from the south of France, north of Spain. Climates that can grow maize, can grow corn. But it is a lighter, more floral spirit. It's what's used in column distillation. Middleton Distillery, for example, the majority of the whiskey they produce is in column stills, and the minority of the whiskey they produce is in pot stills. Richard, let me see. Peter says, too much drinking me tonight. Brian says, lower ABV, but tastes better from the pot. I've started to enjoy grain whiskies though myself. A nice grain whiskey, there's a lovely note to it, a lovely floral, delicate, light note to it. If it's aged the right way for long enough in the right barrels, it's a long overlooked, I think. Alrighty, let's go back to our next question. You're killing it anyway. You're all doing great. This is my moment where I hype you all up. You're doing brilliant. Next question coming up in how Irish whiskey is made. What does the age statement on a bottle of Irish whiskey tell us? Now read this carefully. How old the oldest whiskey in the bottle is, how old the youngest whiskey in the bottle is, how many years in total the whiskey spent in barrels, how long ago the whiskey was bottled. Is this a trick question? The answer is the age statement on a bottle of whiskey tells us how old the youngest whiskey in the bottle is. The youngest whiskey in the bottle. Has the leaderboard changed at the top? It has not. John Dempster in 4th place could win this one. Look at you all, how old the youngest whiskey in the bottle is. Fantastic. 39 of you got that. You didn't fall for my trick. So I often say that the age doesn't tell us how old the whiskey is, it tells us how young the whiskey is. So Redbreast 21 is 21 years young at its youngest point, but there's older whiskey in there as well. All right, fair play, G. There's no catching you out unless it comes to maize. Next question in our how Irish whiskey is made, 4th round. What is the Latin name for American white oak? American white oak is what the majority of the bourbon barrels are made out of, and consequently what most Irish whiskey is matured in the majority. Quercus robur, Quercus glauca, Quercus falcata, or Quercus alba. What is the Latin name for American white oak? And the answer is Quercus alba. Quercus alba. If you got that right, give yourself a pat in the back, but don't spill your drink while you're doing it. Whoa, Eamon Hegarty has just pipped John Dempster. It's on. It's on, Eamon Hegarty. You're in the running. You're back in there. 35, you got that right, and some of you in record time. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. All right, next question coming up. Let me see, how many more do we have? Latin name for... Okay, so 2 more questions in this round. 2 more questions. And I hope that gels with what you see as well. Michael Mullen says, hitting near 2 a.m. Maybe I shouldn't drink during this quiz. You're doing amazing, all of you. And a reminder that we have raised so far, let me do a refresh here, $4,650, all of which goes 100% to fight the scourge that is cancer. Give yourselves an absolute pat on the back, round of applause. Again, don't spill your whiskey. But thanks a million for this amount. We are $350 away from our $5,000 goal. This is my NPR voice. If we can reach our goal today, we'll be able to do a lot of good with this $5,000. So we're going to reach this goal, aren't we? We're going to reach this goal. All right, let us go to our second last question of this round then. Here we go. Here we go. What is the average annual loss of whiskey to the Engels? Who are the Engels? They're like the angels, but they're a cousin of the angels. The Engels, through evaporation each year in Ireland. Is that German maybe? The Engels. Or maybe they're just like people that walk at 90 degrees. The Engels. What is the average annual loss of whiskey? 4%, 6%, 2%, or 0.55%? Time's up. The answer is 2% on average. 2% on average. Does that change our leaderboard? Not at the top, it doesn't. Eamon Hegarty maintaining his 4th place, which means he could win this round. 2%, 17 of you got this. Well done. It changes, of course, depending on the climate. In Ireland, with our moderate, mild, 365-day-a-year rain, the evaporation rate is about 2%. Kentucky and Tennessee, it'll be a lot higher, double digits, 10, 15, 20%. The top of a rickhouse, the top floor of a rickhouse, you'll be losing more than you could sleep comfortable knowing that you're losing. 20% could be lost every year, but 2% in Ireland. So if you got that right, fair play to you. Fair play to you. Ed asks, will we find out our final rank at the end? I think it should tell you in the app or on the whatever you're using. This is my first time using this software, so I can't even see the full leaderboard. Maybe when I go back into the administration, I'll be able to see it. I suppose you can. I think some of you saw what place you had. Did you? I think you can. More donations coming in. Thomas Smith, thank you so much. Brian Redden, another donation from Brian, who's already donated so generously. Brian, thank you so much. Johnny wants to know, is there a fight for last place? If we can figure out the leaderboard that we can see who's last, I think the last place person should get a prize, just purely for participating. Purely for participating. Oh, Tommy says it tells you in the right-hand corner. Oh, there you go. Okay, perfect. So you can see where you are. If you're ashamed to wave your hand and say you're number 59th or you're 47 or whatever, whoever is 60th or 59th, we'll find a prize for you, I'm sure. Richard wants to know, are we at 4,800 yet? All right, let's do a little refresh here. I'm going to share let me stop the sharing of this screen and we'll share the other screen. I like how bought in you are to the sharing of the progress here. Right, so let me refresh this. It was 4,650. Where are we now? Okay, we're still 4,650. 4,650 is where we are. $350 away from our goal of $5,000. And it's only, 6 o'clock Pacific time. We've another 6 hours to go before it's midnight for me. I'll give all this 6 hours if we can raise money. Except I might be having my dinner live on screen. Will you donate to watch me eat my dinner? All right. Greg Anderson right behind Dave in 27th place. Johnny's screen shows a minus. Johnny, you'll get there. You'll get to plus. Patrick says he's going to donate a free trip to Clonakilty Distillery to whoever comes last so they can learn. I bet that free trip starts when you get to the door, does it? Like you're not throwing in flights as well. Like the free trip is from the outside the door to the inside of the door. Nearly 2 a.m. for Michael Murray and Peter Galbraith. Fair play to you lads, up late, donating money, playing whiskey questions, and sipping on the good stuff. Steve says there's one more question this round. There is indeed. Let's go to that one more question. Let's go to the one more question. So the last question this round will determine who's going to get the 4th of our sip boxes and green passes for Belfast Whiskey Week. Lorcan Dunn is in 7th place and embarrassed. There's nothing wrong with being in 7th place. There's 60 people here, so 7th is very good. All right, are you ready for the last question in the 4th round? Here we go. Last question in the 4th round. Here we go. What is blended Irish whiskey? What is blended Irish whiskey? Multiple barrels of the same style of whiskey mixed together, a blend of 2 different styles of Irish whiskey, a blend of 3 different styles of pot still whiskey, or a blend of 2 or more different styles of Irish whiskey. What is blended Irish whiskey? Time's up. The answer is 2 or more styles of Irish whiskey blended together. 2 or more styles of Irish whiskey blended together. Eamon Hegarty up into 3rd place, securing his win for the leader, as the leader of that last round, thanks to Zane and John already winning prizes. So, Eamon, you, my friend, are the winner of this round, and look at how many of you got that right. It's amazing how quickly you get this right, and you're responding, like how quickly I see those answers coming in. But, Eamon, fair play to you. Eamon, you have a green pass from Belfast Whiskey Week coming into you, and a super sip box from Stories and Sips, filled with goodies. Fair play to you. Fair play to you. Amazing. That's the 4th round. So our 4 winners so far of the rounds: John M, Zane C, No Ice, the name of which has yet to be claimed. I can't wait to see battle that out, duke it out to see who's going to prove that they're No Ice. And Eamon Hegarty, green pass and a super sip box. Hank says tricky questions aren't fair this late. I know. I was trying to figure out, how do I describe blended whiskey in a way that both confuses, but then there's one that actually gets it right. Richard says there's 27 watching on YouTube, only 12 likes. Folks, please hit the like button. Do please. Like, hit share, post this into a whiskey group, post this into your profile, because if people are watching this next week, we often get Far more people watch our lock-ins the week after because they're not asleep or they're not, or they're out on a Friday night or Saturday night. So they come and they watch the lock-in later in the week. All these links will still be live. We'll still be fundraising next week. We'll still be raising money all the way to November. So barrymademedoit.com will still be live, and we'll be taking donations all the way to November. We're getting close to hitting $5,000, folks. We're getting very close. Very, very close. Thanks, Richard, for being the hype man for the channel there. Good man. Congratulations, Eamon. Jaime says, I was surprised how much I knew about Irish whiskey making. Now. Eamon says, happy days. Sitting till 2 a.m. with Black Barrel was always going to work out for me someday. Amazing, amazing. Ooh, this is going great, right? We're 4 rounds in. We've 1 round to go. So, I think it's between who's in first place. So I think we've got John M, Zane C, No Ice, and Eamon Hegarty will battle it out for first and second place at the moment, unless everything changes in the last round. But we should give away some spot prizes. Richard Agnew says we should get $10,000 by November. I think we should. I mean, the trip to Clonakilty Distillery alone should get us some money, right, Podrick? Like, what is that? Supersonic flights, Concorde from US to West Cork. I'm sipping on the Method of Madness Acacia now. And I don't think the taste or the palate of it, the taste of it is as disappointing maybe as some of you thought. I know the nose is really flavorful, really floral, but the taste, it evolves, it opens up. It was a bit kind of seaweedy at the start for me for some reason. I don't know why. You'd think I was drinking the Kirk. All right, let's have a look at, we're going to do another spot prize. What else have we got to give away? And again, let me see. I'm going to find a way to give away, to raise some more money here now. So I've given away the store. All right, so let's do a spot prize for the Field Guide to Irish Whiskey. The Field Guide to Irish Whiskey. We're going to do a spot prize right now. And I'm going to have Mrs. Stories and Sips close her eyes and choose a name. Do you mind, love? Yeah. So all the names on these sheets, you can just close your eyes and pick a name. And if you pick a name that somebody has won a spot prize already, we'll do another drawing.
Your name.
Mrs. Stories and Sips pulled my name out of the hat. Hey, I win the book.
Tom
Darling. Tom Darling? Mm-hmm. Tom Darling. Tom Darling. Congratulations, Tom Darling. You're the winner of our Field Guide to Whiskey. Tom Darling. Congratulations, Tom. Field Guide to Whiskey on the way to you. All right, this is the frequent one of the frequent call outs we're going to do to raise our money for cancer research. We're trying to get to $5,000. Thank you, love. By the end of the night, we're at $4,650. We need to get to $5,000. I'm sure when we get to the end of this tonight, after the 5 rounds, we'll find ways to do some kind of singing sponsorship or something, and our ways to extend the lock-in for every $250 we get. We might keep the lock-in going, you know. But here's what I would say to you now. I would ask for anyone who hasn't maybe had a chance yet to make a donation of any amount. It can be $1, it can be $100, it can be $10. You've been so generous. We've got $4,650, of which 100% will go to fight cancer. It'll fund high risk, high reward cancer research. If you haven't had a chance yet to make a donation, please do so by visiting barrymademedoit.com. I did make you do it. I'm sorry that I have pressured you. But again, if you're not able to make a donation, I completely understand. There's no pressure. But for those of you that want to, that can, there's the link. Let's try and get to $5,000 by the end of the night. We have 1 round to go. I'd love to see some donations coming in. I have 1 more bottle of the Story Mini to give away. And I've got the 2 green Tua glasses yet to give away as well. So here's what we're going to do. Any donation of $5 or more is going to get the 2 Tua glasses and the Stories and Sips Mini. So any new donations from now are going to go into the draw, and we're going to do this after the winner is after we announce the winner after the 5th round. So any donations from now on, from $5 and up, You'll be put into the draw. There might only be 5 of you, 2 of you, 3 of you, 2 green tour glasses and a mini bottle of the story. All right. That's the next spot prize. And if any of you have any ideas on how we'll raise more money tonight, feel free to put the creative ideas in the comments as well. Dave says, if Mrs. Stories and Sips comes on and says hello, we'll make it to 5,000. What do you think, love?
I will donate to that.
Is there an amount that would have to be donated for you to come on? Like even just to like wave and say hello? For cancer research?
I will gladly donate to stay off the screen.
Mrs. Stories and Sips says she'll donate to stay off the screen, which could get us to the 5,000 even faster. All right. So if you are donating and typing in some details there, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All new donations starting from now until after the 5th round, our final round, will be in the hat for 2 green tour glasses and a story miniature. Jason says, need Barry to start dancing on the table. Dave wants to know how much is Mrs. Stories and Sips' number to come on. I bet Mrs. Stories and Sips will go head to head with you, Dave, to donate to stay off the air. So either way, we're going to win. So either way, the money's going to come in. Thomas Smith, thank you for your donation. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Going to make a new list here for the new donations. Thank you, Thomas. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. We're getting closer. We're eking our way closer. Another one from Zane. Amazing. Thank you so much, Zane. Dave has put up $250 if Mrs. Stories and Sips comes on. It's like we're raffling her off. There's something feels wrong here. This kind of feels wrong. She's like running into the distance. Greg Anderson, thank you for your donation. Amazing. Thank you so much. And Hank, in again. Hank, you have a hole made in that credit card from all the donations. Thanks a million, Hank. Jeez, we're getting very close now. I just looked over there. I see Mrs. Stories climbing out the window. She's rappelling down the side of the building with a duvet. Lauren McMullen, Bushmills Lauren, how are you? Tuning in late to us. Fair play. Well done. We are 4 rounds into 5 rounds of our Irish whiskey quiz. We've talked about Bushmills a lot and the SS Bushmills and your famous 1608 claim. And we've raised almost $5,000 for cancer research. Almost $5,000. Jaime wants to know if we can post an announcement in the Facebook page about this cause that can be shared with other groups. Absolutely. Tomorrow we'll post some updates announcing what we've raised tonight and how people can get involved. And again, anybody can go to Barry Made Me Do It if you're looking to get involved and make a donation. Oh, more coming in, more donations coming in. Amazing. Thank you so much. Con Keating, amazing. Richard Agnew, amazing. Thank you so much. You're all in the draw for the next giveaway. All right. Lauren has had a great evening full of whiskey and Guinness with friends. Fair play to you, Lauren. One of these days, we'll have an evening like that, all of us together. And Lauren will be buying all the whiskey for us. We'll buy her Guinness. All righty. We are heading into our final round. Eamon Hegarty in with another donation. You know what? There's great donations coming in at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning from Ireland after 64 whiskies. You're all very flahuluk and with your donations. Fair play to you. Michael says the pubs are just open. That's Lauren rolling in from them. Or the pubs are back open. Lauren rolling in from them. Anne Marie in with another donation. Amazing. Look at this. We're getting closer. We're almost at 5,000, folks. We'll get there. All right. Let us get into round number 5. And thank you so much for everything that you're donating and sharing tonight. We're almost there. We're almost at $5,000. It doesn't mean we stop at 5,000. It just means I tone down the pressure a little bit. Greg says we're at almost 4,800. Greg keeping a tab for us there. Richard has come in for another donation. Amazing, Richard. Thank you so much. And Mark Stevenson. This is unbelievable. We might get to the 5,000 before the 5th round. What are we at here now? 4,857. Lads, we're $143 away from 5,000. $143. Michael Murray is back in. Good man, Michael. 4,867. $133 to go. $133. 133 to go. This is amazing. All right, so let us go into our, let me see. Jason says, did you see Patrick's comment? Is this about flying us all to Clonakilty, or is there a different one? Patrick's going to donate a bottle of the Roy Pitts Clonakilty collaboration. Cask strength, smoked porter finish, only 286 bottles ever produced. Well, this changes things altogether. Patrick, that is an extremely generous offer. I have to figure out how we can legally do the auctioning of whiskey live on the air. I'm already flaunting YouTube's alcohol giving away rules here, but we will take you up on that offer and perhaps roll it into a separate event if we can. But we will take that donation if you're willing. We might not be able to do it tonight just for bidding rules on the whiskey. But maybe there's a way around that. Maybe if we were shipping it from a licensed retailer and we just do a drawing rather than a bidding, that might work. Anyway, I'm thinking out loud. I'm just very excited. I'm really amped up here. Hank Barnes rounded up to $5,000, folks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We did it. We did it. We're not finished yet, but we did it. That is amazing. Mrs. Stories and Sips came in with a donation. Jessica Norris came in with a donation. Graham Young with a donation. Hank Barnes rounding us up to that magical $5,000 number. And we've gone past it already. Michael Murray with a donation. Lauren McMullen donating. Unbelievable. Folks, this is incredible. We've done it. We've gone past 5,000. Hey, $5,125. We did it. Woo! Amazing. Geez, we'll have to pour a drop in something good now in a minute. As if the last bit hasn't been good, like. Unbelievable. Your generosity is incredible. Like, I'm just blown away. This is unbelievable what we've raised here tonight. We're at $5,125. Hank and Lauren, Melinda and Jessica and Graham. Amazing. Just unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. 100% of what you're donating is going to cancer research. No administration costs, no salaries. 100% is going to fund projects that will identify the causes and the solutions to the scourge of cancer. I can't believe we've done this before our fifth round. This is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Richard says, no balloons. Have we a balloon here somewhere? There's no balloons, no. We couldn't afford balloons. We gave all our money to cancer research. Fair play to you. Unbelievable. This is fantastic. $5,125. We're going to get to 10,000 by November. We're going to get there a lot faster than that too, I'd say. Patrick, we'll figure out how to do this with the bottle. We need to figure it out. Robert Hennessy with his donation. Amazing. Rob, Japan. He's just opened his standing bar in Japan and he's in here donating money to cancer research. Fair play to you, Rob. Unbelievable. And great to see yourself and Tetsuro blessing the whiskies there earlier today and having an old sip of the good stuff. Stacey says the total is still rising. Let me see where are we at the moment. $5,235. This is incredible. Incredible. We started today with $2,000 I think today, which means we've raised $3,235 over the course of the lock-in. So now all we need is a lock-in every day from now until November and we'll get to the million. Are you in? All right, so let's go on to our fifth round and let's see if we can crown a winner who's going to get the bottle of Middleton Very Rare 2020. Remember, that's the first place prize. Second place prize is the bottle of Red Earl, dram in a can pack, miniature of the story. And that first place prize also gets themselves a sip box and the green pass for the Belfast Whiskey Week. So lots of things still up for grabs. Martin says, can someone message him the link? Maybe somebody in the comments can just paste barrymademedoit.com underneath Martin's comment there on Facebook, and he can click on that link if possible. And hopefully that gets you sorted there. James Graham in for another donation. James, thank you so much. Amazing, amazing. Amazing. All right. We're going to go to our fifth round, and then we'll keep talking, and we'll keep drinking whiskey, and we'll sing a few songs. Fifth round coming up, folks. Fifth round. This last round is about the people of Irish whiskey. The people of Irish whiskey. Let's see if the leaderboard changes with this one. Okay. Get your trigger fingers ready. for the final quiz, or the final round in our quiz. And whoever is first and second on our leaderboard are going to be our champions tonight. Can the top place be taken away from Zane and from John M, I wonder? Eamon Hegarty lurking there in the wings. Question number 1, here we go. Who is the master distiller at Powers Court Distillery? Is it Brian Nation, John Teeling, Jardeth Watson, or Noel Sweeney? Who is the master distiller at the Powers Court Distillery? If you don't know the answer, pick your favorite color or close your eyes and touch a button. Time's up. The answer is Mr. Whiskey Hall of Fame, Noel Sweeney, formerly of Cooley Distillery. Noel Sweeney is the answer. Do we have any change at the top? Zane is in first place. No Ice is in second. Eamon in third. John M is down to fourth. Zane up there, number 1. Most of you got that right. Fair play. 3 of you are thinking Brian Nation is at Powers Court. Brian, the former master distiller at the Middleton Distillery, now at O'Shaughnessy Distilling in Minneapolis, where we'll all be going at the end of the summer, hopefully, for a few drinks and meet Brian. All right, question number 2, and the people of Irish whiskey. Which Irish whiskey distillery is run by an earl? An earl, a member of nobility. Is it Kinsale Distillery, Slane Distillery, Clonakilty Distillery, or the Wild Atlantic Distillery? Which Irish whiskey distillery is run by an earl? 2 seconds to go. Time's up. The answer is Slane. Slane Castle, home to Slane Distillery. Any change at the top? No change at the top. Alex Cunningham, the Earl of, what's he the Earl of? Is it Mount Charles, the Earl of Mount Charles. His father is Lord Mount Charles. And Alex Cunningham, who's relatively young, he's 45, 46 years of age. He's the son of Lord Mount Charles, who had the idea to start the concerts at Slane and bring in fans and a really colourful character. And Alex is quite the same, colourful and an entertaining guy. So he's an earl, the only Irish whiskey distillery run by an earl. So many of you got that right. You know your earls and you know your distilleries. Question number 3, I think, coming up. Here we go. Next question. The people of Irish whiskey. Who is the master blender at Bushmills? Is it Kevin O'Gorman, Dave Quinn, Helen Mulholland, or Alex Thomas? Who is the master blender at Bushmills? Lauren McMullen, you're not allowed to enter. Now you are. Who's the master blender at Bushmills? Time's up. The answer is Helen Mulholland, who has been there for many, many years and shaped the course of the distillery. Oh, John Dempster moving into 4th place, kicking John M down to 5th. Michael Gohan, thank you so much, Michael, for your donation. Much appreciated, Michael. We're adding it to the list here for our spot prize next. 27 of you got that right. Yeah, Helen is one of the leading blenders in the world and one of the greatest noses when it comes to whiskey, and her talents are sought out, and she has shaped the Causeway collection, and the whiskies that have been released over the past year bear Helen's hallmarks, and her name is she the first female blender with a name on a bottle of whiskey? I believe she is. So we're all big fans of Helen Mulholland, a Whiskey Magazine Hall of Fame recipient as well. So well done, Helen. And so many of you knew that. Let's go on to our next question in the people of Irish whiskey. See if this leaderboard can change at all. Zane might be running away with it. What is the name of the Cork Distilleries Company owner that can be found on many bottles of Paddy? Now, this could be a tricky one. The owner of the Cork Distilleries Company, who is that? Is it James Flaherty, Paddy O'Gorman, Eric Ryan, or James Murphy? Time's up. The answer is James Murphy, believe it or not. James Murphy. Paddy O'Flaherty was not the owner, but merely the salesman. And James Murphy, or Jeremiah Murphy, was the owner of the Cork Distilleries Company. And there have been many label changes over the years. So your bottle of Paddy or Paddy's may not have James Murphy's name any longer, but many of your bottles will have that name. So James Flaherty is not the right answer. That was most of your guesses. which is a kind of a combination of Paddy Flaherty and James Murphy. The Murphy family, of course, were responsible for the Middleton Distillery and the Cork Distilleries Company, which was the owner of the Middleton Distillery before it became part of Irish Distillers. All right, next question coming up now in our People of Irish Whiskey, our last round to see who's going to be crowned the master of Irish whiskey crack tonight. Name the Irish entrepreneur that built and owned whiskey distilleries on 2 continents. Is it Pierce Lyons, John Jameson, George Rowe, or Omar Fitzel? The Irish entrepreneur that built and owned whiskey distilleries on 2 continents. Time's up. The answer is Pierce Lyons. Town Branch Distilling in Lexington, Kentucky. Pierce Lyons Distillery in Dublin. John M. moving up into 3rd place there, pushing John Dempster out of the way. Speed of the fingers is what's critical in this final round. Pierce Lyons, so many of you got that right. Well done. The 3 of you who think Omar Fitzel is the answer here, I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to Omar Fitzel, who is a good whiskey character himself, and a blogger and a host of the Talk Dram tastings on Twitter. But no, he is not the entrepreneur that built and owned whiskey distilleries, but he'll be thrilled that you think he is. All right, let me take a moment here to have a look at the comments that are flowing in. Mark Stevenson trying for top 10, sitting at the 11th place at the moment. Greg Anderson wondering where's the Tay Man. How many of you remember the Tay Man that we had on for the lock-in with Dublin Liberties Distillery? And we had the longest, most windy story, arduous story perhaps, but we were entertained and regaled nonetheless. It was a good 20-25 minute story about a man that turned a lake into a cup of tea, and it was fascinating. And many of you have never forgotten the Tay Man, and most of us would like to forget that story, but we'll have to have him back again. He might have an even longer story if we gave him the time. With Martin the Horse, that's right, Martin the Horse. And didn't a baby appear somewhere 3/4 of the way through the story as well? Nobody had any idea where the baby came from, but all of a sudden there was a baby that was an integral part of the story. That was a great night. All right, let me see. How many questions do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions left, folks. 5 questions left. Remember, the speed at which you answer the right question, give the right answer to the question, is going to bump you up that leaderboard. So there's still a chance to take Zane out of the top place. He'll be disappointed that I'm telling you to take Zane out, not with a rifle, but with your fast Irish whiskey fingers. All right, I'm almost finished my Method of Madness Acacia. I'm going to break open something very, very good to celebrate our fundraising. Let me just make sure we're remind myself of this amazing fundraiser you've done. $5,260, folks, is where we're at the moment. $5,260. Unbelievable. All of it goes to cancer research. Now, in total, we have raised $25,000 through Irish whiskey for cancer research. I'm proud of Irish whiskey. I'm proud of you guys. All right. Should we move on to the next question? And remember, if you're trying to donate to cancer research and you want to be in with a chance to win our spot prizes at the end of this round, once we finish, 2 green Tua glasses and a JJ Corrie miniature, the story up for grabs. Stories and Sips, JJ Corrie collaboration. We got to figure out how to do this with Padraig as well, who's kindly donated the Clonakilty bottle. We'll have a think about that after the 5th round. So 5 questions to go. Populous says, am I breaking open the Redbreast 27? I might go one better. I might go Redbreast 30-year-old. It's the kind of night that deserves the good stuff. All right, back to the quiz. 5 questions to go, folks. Here we go with the next question. The people of Irish whiskey. Name the husband and wife team behind the Writers' Tears and Irishman whiskey brands. Mr. and Mrs. Stories and Sips. Name the husband and wife team behind the Writers' Tears and Irishman whiskey brands. Should say the wife and husband team. The answer is Rosemary and Bernard Walsh. Rosemary and Bernard Walsh. Eamon Hegarty kicking John Dempster into 5th place and taking the 4th place. Most of you got that right. Rosemary and Bernard Walsh. Of course, we listed the wife first because we all know that the woman is the one who does the most work in any team of a man and a woman. So Rosemary and Bernard Walsh is the right answer there. Instrumental in establishing Irish whiskey's presence in Eastern Europe and in back in the late 90s when there wasn't the demand or interest in Irish whiskey that there is today. So fair play to Rosemary and Bernard. William Monteith, who just donated. Thank you so much, William. William, thank you for that donation. You are sending our total into the stratosphere. Next question coming up, folks, in our People of Irish Whiskey. Here we go. Which Irish whiskey distillery owner used to star in videos about the whiskies of Midleton Distillery? Which Irish whiskey distillery owner used to star in videos about the whiskies of Midleton Distillery? This could be a tricky one for you. Peter Mulryan, Bernard Walsh, Mark Rainier, or Pat Cooney? The answer is Peter Mulryan, owner of Blackwater Distillery. And if you go to Midleton's channel, you'll see all of his videos. Oh, Lorcan has pipped Aaron Lee into 6th place. 17 of you got that right. Peter Mulryan. He is the outspoken owner of Blackwater Distillery. Back in his pre-distillery owning days, he worked for RTE, and he the Irish national TV broadcaster, and he also worked for production companies where he would produce videos and host videos about Green Spot and Yellow Spot and the pot still whiskey. So if you go to Midleton's YouTube channel, I think it's pot still whiskey, I think is the name of their channel. The pot still whiskies of Midleton, perhaps. You'll see all of Peter's videos, which is really ironic because today Peter Mulryan is one of the biggest, I wouldn't say opponents of what Midleton is doing as a distillery, but rather he disagrees with their dominance in the marketplace and thinks that the laws and rules around Irish whiskey should be rewritten because they were maybe predominantly written by the only distillery that was around to write the rules back in the day, Midleton. So Peter Mulryan is the answer there. He's a nice fellow. We've had a great interview with him on the Stories and Sips podcast, but he's not without his outspoken comments, which there's always space for to move a category forward. All right, let's go into our next question, and thank you all for the donations that continue to come in. Here we go. Which Irish whiskey distillery owner previously achieved fame as the creator of Sheridan's Irish Cream and Baru Vodka? Which Irish whiskey distillery owner? Is it Colm Egan, PJ Rigney, Matt Healy, or John O'Connell? Time's up. The answer is PJ Rigney of the Shed Distillery in County Leitrim. The Shed Distillery. Has this changed the leaderboard? No Ice has pipped Zane. Oh, with 2 questions to go. PJ Rigney is a drinks industry veteran and legend in the world of the drinks industry. You don't hear much about him. He's behind the scenes building businesses. When lots are out in front talking about the business, PJ is behind the scenes building the business. And there's a role for both personalities, isn't there? But PJ is a very successful spirits entrepreneur. And the Shed Distillery in County Leitrim produces Drumshanbo single pot still whiskey and famously Gunpowder Irish gin. That goes head to head with Dingle Gin in our house for favourite Irish gin. Gunpowder gin, taking the world by storm as well. So I'm expecting great things out of the Shed Distillery over the coming years. All right, look, our leaderboard has changed. No Ice, whoever No Ice is. And we're going to have some fun figuring out who No Ice is. And I genuinely don't know how we're going to figure that out. Like, how do we prove? Someone's going to have to take a screenshot of their phone or their tablet or something to show that you're signed in as No Ice, because I didn't ask you to register. There was no email taken. How are we going to prove it? You're going to have to take a screenshot or something. Hank says he will now say, I am No Ice on my second computer. If you are, Hank, fair play to you. Peter says, Pat Cooney. Ha ha ha. Johnny says, hey, I don't get credit for how fast I answered the few questions I got right. You do. You get credit for every question you got right and the speed associated with it, but you get no credit for the speed with which you answer a question incorrectly, as you might appreciate. Steve says, if I crack the 30-year-old redbreast, he'll join me. Here we go. There's no cracking needed. It is already cracked. All port, single cask redbreast, 30-year-old. I'm going to find a nice glass for it. I have to find a bit of Galway crystal, I think, for this one. Okay, so two left. Greg says he's ready for some redbreast all port 30-year-old and some songs. Love, could you see if there's that Galway crystal tumbler in the drawer, please? Yeah, there's another one though. There's a second one, I think. I think I have two of them. No? Oh, thank you. All right, I've got my redbreast 30-year-old ready to go anyway. The big guns are out now, says Larkin. They are indeed. John M says he thinks Mrs. Stories and Sips is no ice. That she's secretly playing in the background there. With all the hours she sits here listening to the lock-in and the sessions and the tastings, she'd well be able for it. Okay, so we've got 2 questions to go, I believe. We do. 2 questions to go. And I don't think they're difficult ones, so this is going to be about speed. This is going to come down to speed. So whoever is no ice, I recommend you take a screenshot, a photograph, showing that you're logged in as no ice. Okay. One of my favorite whiskies of all time that I've been lucky enough to try in the few short years that I've fell in love with the stories and the sips of Irish whiskey is this redbreast all port cask 30-year-old. Would you like some, love? Get yourself a good glass that can take a heap of it. Look at the colour in this. Look at this. Look at that. Lovely. Mr. Stories and Sips getting in on the action. There you go, lovey. All right, so this is one of 444 bottles that were released by the Whiskey Exchange. Bought this cask from Middleton, and boy, do they make a good choice. 6 years in bourbon casks, recast to spend 24 years in an all port, in a port pipe, generating 444 bottles at 700 milliliters a bottle. Cask strength, 57%. People talk a lot about the Method and Madness 28-year-old as being one of their favorite whiskies of all time. This is the Method and Madness 28-year-old with 2 more years. This is a 30-year-old, 6 years in bourbon, just like Method and Madness 28-year-old, and then 24 years in port. It's unbelievable. It's one of these whiskeys where you laugh out loud when you're sipping on it. Even the nose of it. It's like somebody is you're in a kitchen and you're watching somebody squeeze out fruits, squeeze the juice out of plums and peaches and oranges, and and all of that is meeting your nostrils. That's what it feels like when you nose this whiskey. All right, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I know we've got a quiz to win. 57%. Greg Anderson's got bottle 387. That's mine. 385. Whoa! Bottle neighbours. 2 away. Bottle neighbours. That doesn't often happen. What are the chances of that? Okay, so 2 questions to go, folks. Who's going to scoop this up? Is it going to be No Ice? Is it going to be Zane? Is it going to be John M? Is it going to be Eamon Hegarty? You're on the edge of your seats. Is Larkin going to pick himself up off the floor in his 15 surged Guinnesses? And is he going to scoop it up? Who knows? Who knows? So sláinte to Greg and to Richard and to all of you. Johnny and Chris, take a sip of this. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. It's that good. It's that good. Oh, folks, we're up to $5,285. I can't believe it. We have crushed our goal. Crushed our goal. All right, the last 2 questions, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Get your fingers ready. Last 2 questions. Second last question coming up in 3. What is the family name of the two brothers who started a wine and spirit merchant business in London in the 1850s before expanding to Ireland? The two brothers who started a wine and spirit merchant business in London in the 1850s before expanding to Ireland. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm drinking their whiskey right now. Time's up. The answer is Gilbey's, the Gilbey's brothers, who opened their first international. Oh, no change at the top. No Ice is still there, barely ahead of Zane. No Ice and Zane. Gilbey's is the right answer. Mitchell is not the right answer. It's a bit of a trick question. The Mitchells also started a wine and spirit merchant, but it wasn't two brothers. It was one man who came over in the late 1800s to, the early 1800s, 1820s to Dublin and opened a confectionery shop. Later on in the late 1800s, the Mitchell family started their wine and spirit merchant business, but it was two brothers, the Gilbey brothers, in 1851, 1852, after coming home from fighting the Boer War in the British Army. And these two brothers took advantage of recent tax changes to create the Gilbey's Wine and Spirit Merchant Company that gave us Redbreast in 1912. We have one question to go, folks. One question to go. And whoever is leading at the end of this takes home Middleton Very Rare 2020, takes home a Green Pass to Belfast Whiskey Week, takes home a super sip box. The second place winner gets a bottle of Red Earl, a Dram in the Can pack, and a miniature of the story. So I'm going to count down from 5, and I'm going to press the button for the next question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Last question. Name the legendary brand ambassador who has been representing Irish whiskey around the world since 1974. Is it Michael Cowman, Mark McLaughlin, John Quinn, or Kevin Piggott? The legendary brand ambassador who started working back when John's Lane Distillery was still in its final days of distillation. 1974, would you believe? The answer is the legendary John Quinn, global brand ambassador for Tullamore Dew. Who's going to be our winner? No Ice is the winner, and Zane is in second place. Fantastic. No Ice is our winner. No Ice, congratulations. And Zane, congratulations to you. Big round of applause. Fair play. Give them both a round of applause in the comments, folks. Amazing. I don't have the Middleton Very Rare here. It's going to be shipped from Irish Malts. They will ship it to you, Mr. No Ice. And again, we're going to need photographic proof of who you are. Let me... Who's No Ice? Or Mrs. No Ice. Yeah, absolutely. It says here, next question. Is there a next question? This is the last question. Do you want to end the quiz? The answer is yes. Here we go. Is it going to give us a winner? What's going to happen now? No Ice first, Zane second, John M in third. Amazing. Okay, here's our leaderboard. Brian Campbell says, thank you, I'm the real No Ice. Would anybody like to challenge Brian, or if Brian Campbell is No Ice? We are willing to accept honesty. Let's have a look at the leaderboard here. Yeah, let me know, where did you end up? Here we go. Let's scroll up here. All right. No Ice. Even without getting a lot of the early questions right, No Ice must have been very quick. Oh, where did that go? Where's our dashboard? Disappeared on us. Here it comes. No Ice is first, Zane second, and John third. Congratulations, John. All right, here's the ranking. We're not going to shame anybody. You're all winners. You all donated. You all participated. And you all gave something to further our cause here. But there's the leaderboard for you all to see. You can probably see it on your own screens as well. And I have no doubt that those who are further down the list, they're only there because they weren't participating in all the questions. As simple as that. Fair play to you all. How about that? Ed says, my phone says 13, but your leaderboard says 14. Well, take the better one. Take 13. Take 13. Brian's joking. He's not no ice. We don't know who the winner is. Who's the winner? Is there anybody that's claiming to be no ice? Chris Connor is ledge bag. Martin Hilliard, thank you so much for your donation. Aaron Lee, congratulations to you, landing in 7th. John Dempster in 4th. No small place at all. Larkin Dunn, you recovered some ground there to get into 6th place. His academic reputation is in tatters. But no, it's not bad for 10 pints of Guinness and four cask strength whiskies. Fair play to you. Hank Barnes is number 11. Hank was claiming to be no ice there for a second. He or she missed at least 5 questions, says Jaime, whoever no ice is. Brian Redden started on question 17 and still ended up in 20th place. Amazing. Zane says he was himself and no ice. You see, this is very tough now. I think we're going to have a steward's inquiry into this one. Nobody has claimed no ice officially with any proof. If anyone has proof of being no ice, Billy Lighton says Mrs. Stories and Sips. Might be. Yeah. Richard says the same.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Could be.
You think somebody is sneaked into the background there and is do we have an anonymous winner? John Dempster said, who wins the last round? So the leader at the end of the 5th round also became obviously the winner. So the winners overall, No Ice and Zane C were also the leaders at the end of the 5th round. So No Ice gets the Middleton Very Rare and the Green Pass and the Sip Box, unless it's Mr. Billy Lighton, in which case he has the Middleton Very Rare already, and he doesn't need a Green Pass. He might get the Sip Box. Would you like a few Stories and Sips glasses? Why is everyone thinking it's Billy Lighton? It might be. Billy, if you're awake, we need a picture with today's newspaper and a screenshot of the No Ice login. Johnny says, and the Lord said the last shall be first. Okay, let's give away the 2 green Tua glasses and the mini of the story to all the donations that came in since the last round. And thank you all for your incredible donations. I'm not logging off the lock-in yet, though. All right, let me see what's come in. Okay, more have come in. John, thank you so much, John M., for another donation. Martin Hilliard, thank you for yours. William Monty, thank you for yours. Michael Gohan, thank you for yours. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's do a little. Should we have a look at what we're at now with our fundraising? Let me refresh this screen. So we were at 5,285. Have we gone up from this? We sure have, folks. $5,368. So when we got to the $5,000, which was the commitment that I made to raise, you actually get this status. So now I get to put this on my jersey when I ride. I'm now officially a high roller. So I'll be a high roller on behalf of all of you. High roller for $5,000. So we've got our magnet and our little patch. We are now, as a group, high rollers, $5,368. Johnny says it's only June. That's right. And we're going to be raising money all the way to November. Mark says, do I have to ride a bike now? Well, not now tonight, but it is there. Look, there's the bike. And I'll be riding 100 miles on August 8th. So we'll do an event in Columbus around it as well. Maybe that night, after 100 miles, we'll all go to Burns Pub for a few pints. Mrs. Stories and Sips delighted with the fundraising. She sends her best virtually because she'll never show her face. Like,
I'm an in-person kind of person.
oh, she's an in-person kind of person, she says. All right. Okay, so we got to draw the winners. We got to draw the winners here. Jonathan Boyle is happy with 27th, considering he missed the first and second round. Fair play. Fair play. All right, so Brian says, shouldn't that be 2021 ledge bag instead of legendary? It should be. We should all be the ledge bags. Isn't that Donna's phrase? We're all ledge bags. All right. So Richard says, if we cross $15,000, will I do the race in a turtleneck? Absolutely. 100% I will. Did you hear that, Mrs. Stories and Sips? I'll do it in a turtleneck if we get to $15,000. I will. Okay. Everyone who donated, I wrote your names down on this sheet. We're giving away the 2 green tour glasses, and we're going to give away all the names here, and we're giving away the miniature of the story. I think that's all their spot prizes then. All right, here we go. The magic pen. Oh, fell off the side. Here we go. William Monteith, you are our winner of 2 green tour glasses. William, thank you for your donation. Congratulations, sir. Writing that down here now. William Monteith. I'll be in touch with all of you to get your details. If you haven't put your addresses in, we'll get hold of those details. A lycra turtleneck, says JJ. Eamon says, I'm welcome to join in a local one around the Glens of Antrim next June. The fun run of the Glens. Jeez, I might be into that. A tank top turtleneck, says Johnny. Peter, good night to you. Thank you for joining us from drunken Dublin. Fair play to you. Steve says, you're crazy. Ohio, August, turtleneck. Think about it. No, Steve. Think about $15,000 for cancer research. Stacey is going to talk to Pat Byrne. A post-race whiskey is definitely a great idea. Stacey, we have to have a little meet-up that Sunday night in Byrne's pub in Columbus after 100 miles, and a few pizzas, a few carbs to soak up the, or to recover, and a few buas. Congratulations to William, says Chris. Whew, I'm sweating after all this. And here's me talking about a turtleneck in 100-degree heat in the first week of August on a bike for 100 miles. Well, this is amazing, folks. We have raised $5,368. This is our first fundraising event of the year. You've been so generous in your donations, not just here tonight, but prior to tonight. The money we raised up to tonight came from the purchases of T-shirts, the charity T-shirts on our Stories and Sips shop on storiesandsIps.com or shopstoriesandsips.com, where you can get, you can still buy those T-shirts. They're going to stay there all year. And every penny that comes from those T-shirts goes to cancer research as well. And you'll be able to check this link continuously to see the updated amount as we keep raising the money. So it's all public. I don't touch the money. It's all goes straight to Pelotonia. Our donation page here is accessible to all of us. We can donate here until November, and we can see the progress that we're making. But I got to think that we'll get to 10,000 now. You know, if we got to, I was being cautiously optimistic about tonight, but I didn't want to put all my hope in tonight. But $5,368 is absolutely incredible. And I honestly, like, I couldn't be part of a better community. It's Irish whiskey that got me into, or it's Pelotonia that got me into Irish whiskey. It's Irish whiskey that's now helping fund cancer research. And we should all be very proud of this community and the donations and what we're doing together. So this isn't just me, it's everyone together. Everyone together. And Marie says her nerves are shattered. Dave, you didn't make anyone uncomfortable, Dave. Don't worry at all. Mrs. Stories and Sips will probably make a serious donation. I will be insisting that she does to stay out of the limelight. That cost her. She doesn't know it yet, but she'll have to make a three-figure donation after staying out of the limelight. Okay. Thumbs up from Mrs. Stories and Sips. Fair play to her. Richard said, such a great night, but we still need to see the missus. Yeah, you have some chance getting to see the missus. In-person events. She was at the Columbus event. We'll be doing another event soon. Actually, I think our next event, of all places, is going to be in Utah. And we have a wedding to go to in early July. When do we go there? July 10th. So in 3 weeks, we've got so we might be putting out a call to meet in Salt Lake City or Park City. And most likely Park City. So we might do a tour of the High West Distillery outside Salt Lake City. So we might do that as a meetup. That's the next one. I don't know if any of you are from Utah. There's only about 6 people in Utah to begin with, so I'm sure none of you are here. But Utah might be our next one. Anyone want to go to Utah? John, really a great comment here, and thank you to Padraig, pouring a Clonakilty to toast Patrick and his wonderful donation of a bottle. Let me see. Padraig, if you're able to organize the shipping of that bottle here's what we can do. We can do that giveaway tonight. Like we can do that giveaway. But it's such a rare bottle. It's such a, 260 of these bottles in existence, and Padraig has donated one of them. Here's what we could do. If Padraig is okay with this, if he's still on here, what I would do is I'd say, if anybody if we start a new donation from now of $5 and up, anybody who donates $5 and up from now gets a chance to be in the draw to win this bottle. There's not many of you left on here. There's about 54 of you tuned in, which means you have a 1 in 53 now. Somebody's just dropped off, sick of it. 52, dropping like flies. You have a 1 in 52 chance of winning this bottle if you donate $5 or more starting from now. So any new donations of $5 or more, we could raise some money and get this done. That would be amazing if Padraig is okay with that. Karen Lloyd Pete just joining, asking how to donate. So it's on the bottom of the screen there, scrolling on the bottom. BarryMadeMeDoIt.com is the link. BarryMadeMeDoIt.com. And if Padraig is okay with it, let me see. He says, bottle like that should be higher donation or auction. Yeah, so we can't really do auctions here. It's kind of against the rules. So this would have to be, this would have to be either for new donations that come in that we can give this bottle away, or we do it in a separate event. I'll let Padraig make the call on this. If we do a separate event, we'll find a new way to raise the money. If we do it tonight, we'll take new donations. So if Padraig is still in the audience, we'll take his advice. If he's not, we'll roll this into an event tomorrow or next day, or we'll do another situation where we can give away this amazing bottle. Richard says he loves raising money for great causes. And Richard, we love your enthusiasm and your support and your hyping up of our channel at all times. You're a great supporter of what we're doing here, and a great supporter of Irish whiskey, and a great supporter of of this cancer research fundraiser we're doing tonight. Hank says, how about $100 donation that's eligible? Only $100 donation or more. I'm going to leave it all up to Padraig. Great suggestions. Dave suggests separate event. Maybe my suggestions are too low. $5 might be too low. I'm awful at asking for money. Johnny says a separate event for such a nice bottle. Okay, well, look, these are great suggestions. Keep them coming in, and I'll let Padraig pull the trigger on what he'd like to do with that bottle. It's a very, very generous offer, and we will facilitate its giving away to raise money as best we possibly can. Dahi asks, how do I donate? When I sign on, I get the Stories and Sips apparel page, but no option to donate. So the apparel page is just where you can buy t-shirts, of which the proceeds go to cancer research. If you want to donate directly, Dahi, you can just type in BarryMadeMeDoIt.com, BarryMadeMeDoIt.com, and that will take you directly to the donation page. All right, so as you're all giving us ideas on the giveaways, and maybe you all have some more ideas. Are there other ideas you have for ways we can raise money? So one of the suggestions, or one of the thoughts I have, is to do a couple of private tastings where we ship whiskey to all of you, and we'll either bring on a brand representative or a distillery owner, and we'll host a tasting together privately where we might get the brand to donate some whiskeys that they'd be willing to ship, or I'll buy the whiskeys and I'll ship them to you, and all of your donations will go to cancer research. So we'll do some of those events between now and November. We're going to use this URL, Barry Made Me Do It, on every lock-in. We're not going to have fundraising events as big as this on every lock-in. We might have one or two more between now and November, but it'll be a constant, hey, if you want to support us, here's the link. So it's not, a lot of YouTube channels have Patreons and ways you can buy them a coffee. I'm less interested in that. I'm more interested in ways we can donate to the cancer charity. So we'll put this up as a continuous link on the lock-ins. We'll also make this available as a continuous option to donate through our Facebook group. And then if we end up buying a castle together, 10% of the purchase price will go to cancer research. Stacey says, auction that bottle and a private tasting with Barry. I'd be down for any of those kind of suggestions, anything at all, anything at all. Brian asks, when and where am I riding? I'm riding in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, on the 8th of August, which is a Sunday. Let me make sure it is. Is it the 8th? Sunday, the 8th of August, yep. And so I'm going to do a loop, a 100-mile loop from New Albany, just outside Columbus, back to New Albany, 100 miles. And I'll do it in a turtleneck if we get to 15,000 by August. But it's there's going to be 8,000 riders. I think there's 7,500 riders signed up right now. And let me have a look at how much has been raised so far this year. So we've raised what, $5,368. But so far this year, 4.4 million has been raised. And to date, 221 million, almost 222 million has been raised. There are 7,471 riders participating this year. And they'll all do various distances from 25 miles up to 200 miles. I signed up for 100 only because I had a lot of travel coming up where I knew I would have not all the days to train and get ready for the 200 miles. The most I've ridden is the 180 miles. I've done that I did that 3 years or 4 years at 180 miles. I've done the 100 miles once. And so we'll do the 100 again this year. And yeah, looking forward to it. I'm glad that I'm training in California because the heat out here will hopefully get me ready for the heat that's in Columbus the first week of August. And the reason they host it in that first week of August every year is because statistically and historically that's been the driest and the warmest week, which is what you want. I remember my first Pelotonia, 180 miles, day 2. So 100 miles day 1, 80 miles day 2. I'd say for 4 of the 6 hours of day 2, you couldn't see 5 feet in front of you with the rain. It was incredible. You were going at 8 to 10 miles an hour when you'd be typically going 15 to 20 miles an hour. And it was just, you just had to laugh. You were soaked through, and then you'd get out of this after 4 hours and you get into a sunny spot and you'd be dry within 10 minutes. Such was the heat. It was incredible, but very memorable. Patrick says that bottle is stateside. Yeah, so we do have issues with like kind of auctioning, but what we can do is, what we probably could do, Padraig, is we could do a donation of a certain amount to the page after tomorrow. So we'll separate it from tonight, but we'll have time to maybe regroup and think about it. But I know you can get that bottle to most places in America, but maybe we figure out a number, a high enough number that if enough people donate, we'll raise a decent amount of money. And like Hank said, maybe it's $100 per person, maybe it's $50 per person, but we'll figure out an unusual number so we know that everybody who donated that is in for this bottle. And that might be the easiest way to do it. That way we could raise a bunch of money and then we'll do a tasting with it maybe if somebody opens it or they want it. Or I'll throw in a tasting if they want to taste along, or Padraig might want to do it. So that would be a great way to do it. But look, we'll have more events where you don't have to donate. Look, everyone's been very, very generous tonight. I'm not looking to try and extract all the money in the world out of your pockets. And I hope you know that whether you've donated $1 tonight or $100 or $500, every single one of you is just so valued and so appreciated for what you've done. It's just blown me away how much money we've raised tonight. So don't think that you have to donate big amounts of money to be in. But I think it stands to reason that if people do donate large prizes, that we ask for large donations for that particular prize. It doesn't mean that it's the only way, but I think we should be trying to extract as many avenues and creative ways to get kind of extract value as much as possible when it comes to those items. But we'll have a range of options over the coming 4 or 5 months to get involved. And Hank is wondering what that bottle is again. Maybe Padraig, you could let us know, remind us again what that bottle is. JJ wants to know if I'll have my own stand at Dublin Whiskey Live. I will not. I'll be too busy sitting in the Palace Bar in the corner table, corner seat, sitting there sipping on whiskey for about 96 hours. Hank wants to know, how can we find out the plan for it if not today? What we will do is, as soon as I have the details, I will post it to Twitter, to Facebook page publicly, our Facebook Irish Whiskey Fans of America group. I'll put it on Instagram. I will email it out in our newsletter. So all those ways, surely one of those ways will get to you. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, go to storiesandsIps.com, add in your email address, we'll get it to you. We'll be posting about tonight's event, about how to fundraise. Our newsletter goes out every Wednesday. So by Wednesday, it'll go out. We'll find a way to do this post Wednesday, perhaps, once everybody has got the details. So we'll find a way. And and separately to this, and it seems odd talking about it, but we have an event on Monday night where Brian Redden, who's there in the audience, who mentions Ballybur. Ballybur is in the parish of Ossary in Kilkenny, where we have our big eyes. Our eyes might be bigger than our wallets, but it doesn't stop us gazing at a castle for sale in Kilkenny that we have ambitiously thought, wouldn't it be a great place for us as a group to have as a base in Ireland? So we're talking on Monday about that. If you're interested in participating in the purchase of a castle, I never thought I'd say those words. Join us on Monday as we explore this as a group to see if it's feasible, if it's possible. You don't need to bring your checkbook or your credit card or anything. We're just having a what-if discussion to see if we can assemble a bunch of people who might be interested in buying a home for Irish whiskey fans of America, and it's a bit of a business too. It's got an accommodation business and a wedding business. So anyway, we're talking about that on Monday. There's no obligation to join. It's a fanciful, ridiculous, irrational idea, and it's why I love it. Maybe it's something we can get done, and if we can, we're going to do it. So anyway, we're going to talk about that Monday night. The details of that are in our Facebook group. Pinned to the top of the group under announcements, you'll see a link to join our Zoom. And if anybody else wants to share the Zoom in there, they can do that in the comments as well. We've not really talked about this too publicly because it is a kind of a ridiculous idea in the best of ways. We've kept it within our group because we already have, I think, about 60 or 65 people who are going to join on Monday who want to participate in this. Chris wants to know, will there be whiskey at this what if discussion? There will be if you bring it. There'll definitely be whiskey there. If you go to your bar cart just before logging on and pour yourself a decent glass. Patrick, thanks for sharing that about the cask strength Irish whiskey from Clonakilty. Stephen McGuinness from Ecklenville. Let us know what we can do, Barry. We have great people in Ireland with high spirits and our amazing partners in America. We can pull something rare for a great cause. Folks, let's do something with Ecklenville. Amazing. Stephen, thank you so much. We've raised a fortune tonight, $5,300. Let me pull it up. $5,389 is our total as of now. Karen, thank you for your donation. Kat, thank you for your recent donation as well. We're at an amazing amount here, $5,389. Stephen, we'd love to do something with Ecklenville. We'd love to do it. Let's figure it out. We'll do it between now and November. Let's do this. Let's get to $10,000 for cancer research. Let's do it. Let's do this. Amazing. Stephen, really appreciate it. Everyone should be checking out the amazing releases coming out of Ecklenville Distillery. Their Dunville's whiskies that are coming out, and their Dunville's 1808. I have it on the shelf right here behind me. A really affordable, accessible blend that's available in Total Wine in the US at the moment. And they just released their Palace Bar exclusive, the 20-year-old single malt. Got a lovely sample of that from the Palace Bar and Stephen a few weeks ago, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Which is a fantastic whiskey. So great things coming out of Ecklenville, and we're excited to see what comes next, both under the Dunville's name and the Ecklenville name over the coming years. And Old Comer finding its way over here too, I believe in November or December. Pot still whiskey with some of the liquid from Ecklenville as well included in that. Fantastic. Stacey got an Ecklenville session with her Belfast whiskey pass. Great stuff. Can we give another round of applause and a kind of a cheer and a thank you to Irish Malts, to John O'Donovan at Irish Malts for donating a Middleton Very Rare 2020 700 milliliter bottle, which he's going to ensure gets to our winner tonight if they ever declare themselves No Ice. I genuinely still don't know who No Ice is. Nobody has announced who this is. I think it's Billy Lighton, or maybe it's Stephen McGuinness in the background. I don't know. Stephen would be a man that knows more about Irish whiskey than most people on planet Earth. So it could very well be Stephen. Who knows? And but thank you to John O'Donovan at Irish Malts. Thank you to Paul O'Kane at Belfast Whiskey Week, who's pulling off the most ambitious, ridiculously ambitious, yet is going to work festival with his 430 odd sessions that he's got lined up. Maybe we'll do a Southern California tune-in together. Maybe we'll meet up somewhere and do a Southern California drinking session to go along with one of those sessions. We'll meet up perhaps during Belfast Whiskey Week. Thank you as well to Larry Masoka and to PJ at Folsom Wine and Spirits for the donation of a bottle of Red Earl, which is going to Zane Klaus, and the Dram in a Can pack and a miniature of the story. So we've got some great winners tonight. I have a list of all the winners here. I'm going to read them out to make sure I've got them all right. And if I don't, let me know if I called you out earlier and I didn't write you down. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, so round one, our winner was John Moritko. He gets the green pass and the super sit box. Round two, Zane Klaus, who won the green pass and the super sit box. No Ice won round three, whoever he or she is, the green pass, super sit box. Round four, Eamon Hegarty, green pass and super sit box. And then round five, No Ice had already won. Let me see. Oh yeah, No Ice had already won. Does that mean that is there a space in round 5 that we didn't call out? Because No Ice won overall, and they'd already won. Maybe we've got a green pass to give away. Maybe some of you can figure that out in the leaderboard if that's still live for you. We'll figure this out. I'll look into this, and if you can see it, it might be Eamon. Eamon Hayward. He won the 4th one. It might be whoever came 5th. Or we'll look into this. We'll pull up those details. No Ice anyway was the overall winner. Middleton Very Rare 2020, the green pass and the sip box. Second place Zane Klaus. No Red Earl, Dram in a can. And then the spot prizes: Joshua Galuli, a mini story; Kelly Ryan, craft cocktail book; Greg Calderon, mini story; Hank Barnes, mini story; Aaron Lee, Redbreast tri-pack; Tom Darling, field guide to whiskey; and 2 green tour glasses and a mini story to William Monteith. Okay. Brian Riley says, still going. We are still going, Brian, with your support, because I know you donated and everyone else's support. We have raised tonight, we're now at the total of $5,414. Take a bow, folks. Take a bow. Take a bow. Maybe John Dempster, maybe John, I think might you be the winner of that 5th round then, because you didn't win overall, but I think John could well be the winner of that 5th round. We're going to double check that one, but John, thank you for that message. I think it could be you, John. I think it is. Ed said, wasn't there another book? There was 2 books that we gave away. Yep, we gave away the Field Guide to Whiskey to Tom Darling, and we gave away the Craft Cocktail book to Kelly Ryan. 2 books. Was there 3 books? No, just 2. Amazing. Woo! $5,414. Nothing to shake a stick at. Oh, it's $5,420 now. It keeps coming in. I'm just going to sit here now and just sip on this for a second. Brian Campbell says it's John Dempster is the winner of the 5th round. Yep. I think that's it. John, Brian, thank you for prompting me on that. Dahi says, great quiz and a great cause. He'll figure out donating eventually. Don't worry, Dahi. Your support is great. Whew. I'm worn out now. It's almost time for dinner. If we can raise that in 3 hours, what would happen if we did a 24-hour telethon? 24 hours in turtleneck. Thanks everyone for all your support. Seriously, it's amazing. We've been here for 3 hours and 8 minutes, and I think we've got a good return on our investment, good return on our time, to the sum of 5,420. Let me put this up on the screen so that we can bask in its glory at knowing that this is where this is going. 5,420. Amazing. Oh, look at this comment. Look at this. Stephen McGuinness. We will try and get one of our partners to put bottle number 1 forward of one of our green series, the rarest single casks from what we have offered. Oh, Stephen. You know now there's witnesses. They won't let you off the hook with that. Amazing. That's incredible. Stephen, we'll be in touch, and thanks so much. So kind. Whether we got a bottle of 1808 or a single cask bottle, anything at all is going to go a long way to raising a lot of money, and it's all so appreciated. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. What an amazing community we have in the world of Irish whiskey. Seriously, unbelievable. Hank says he's going to have to make more times than his Fridays for this, as long as he can stay off Facebook. Well, I see you there on YouTube, so at least you found the alternative to Facebook. I know Facebook's not for everybody. "24 hours in a turtleneck." I mean, if we got a big enough donation, I would do 24 hours in a turtleneck. I'm open to anything, like anything at all to raise money related to Irish whiskey and some bananas suggestions. I'll do it. Does anybody have crazy suggestions on how we can raise some money? I mean, we just got a ridiculous 2 offers there from both Padraig at Clonakilty Distillery, Stephen at Ecklandville, on things that could net us some serious money towards our charity, towards our cause here, to get us closer to our $10,000. I do have some other offers from a few others. We must also thank Irish Whiskey App, made a very sizable financial donation as well. They offered up some whiskey prizes, which we had trouble figuring out how we could donate private bottles of whiskey, but they made a very, very generous donation. So thank you to Conor Winders at Irish Whiskey App for his donation. And we have some more requests that have come in from other distilleries and brands. And to be fair, I didn't knock on the doors of a whole lot of people this week to get this going. We made a few calls, and everyone we called said 100% we'll get you something. And I think there's more now that we could probably do, and I'm just so appreciative of the support and what we can do to raise some money. So if you have any suggestions and ideas on what you'd like to do and participate in, it doesn't matter whether it's for a donation or just to participate in a kind of a community effort, let me know, and we'll pull these things together. I think it's a great way to get to know Irish whiskey, get to know each other over a bit of fundraising. JJ wants to know how many $1 million turtlenecks have I sold. I would fabricate one from gold leaf or gold thread if I knew I could get one I could get $1 million for one if we could donate it all. Greg wants me to stay off OnlyFans. I promise. I won't go on OnlyFans. Only whiskey fans, maybe. Funny talking about WD O'Connell's. Dahi was in touch to figure out if he could donate something as well just before our event tonight. So we're going to do something with WD O'Connell. We'll definitely do something together as well. John says he hears the Tipperary Terror will step dance for dollars. If Kieran Quinn wants to step dance, I'm sure we could raise money for that. Well, folks, I don't know if we can top this now tonight. I think we've gone out on a high. Brian wants to know if I've ever spoken to the people at the Whiskey House. I wonder if they would support you. Brian, I've reached out to the people at the Whiskey House a couple of times and I've heard nothing back. I know that they've been closed for a long time. They're only now just opening back up. There's another great bar that we just went to a tasting during the week, 7 Grand in North Park. We went to a fantastic tasting with the brand representative from Maker's Mark, and he was doing a tasting during the week of his lockdown whiskies, the whiskies that got him through the lockdown. I'll tell you what we tasted. This is one of the greatest whiskey bars in San Diego, and in California for my money. 7 Grand it's called. They have a whiskey room at the back, nothing but whiskey. There is nothing else you can buy in there, only amazing whiskeys. They have all the Irish whiskeys you've ever seen, all the bourbons. But here's what we tasted. Regular Maker's Mark, Daringer by Rabbit Hole, so the Rabbit Hole Distillery, which is also owned by Pernod Ricard. Frey Ranch, we had their 4-grain whiskey from Frey Ranch, a small distillery in Reno, Nevada. Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, which I thought was really good. And then we had Maker's Mark Community Release, their community bottle that was released as a vatting of 23 casks, single casks that were released for individual accounts, and a vatting of those was released as the Maker's Mark Community Bottling. So 7 Grand could be something that we might be able to do something with, and they're super pro whiskey and fundraising and doing great things in the community. So yeah, maybe we'll get to do something with them. Stacey says, how about a live lock-in at someone's house as an auction item? I do think an auction is a good idea. If we could do an auction off social media, like off Facebook somehow, like we got to figure out a way to not break the rules and lose our group or our YouTube channel, but an auction would be a great idea. I know auctions have been run under Facebook pages and groups. I can't talk to their rules. I just want to make sure we don't lose the community we have. But I think if we could figure out an auction, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, we did a great job tonight, folks. I'm about to keel over from the lightheadedness from 3 hours of just being amazed and enthralled and blown away by the support tonight. It is Karen wants to know what time it is here. It's 7:15 in the evening. I still have the evening ahead of me, but we will do some local meetups, as John Maritko says there. And I will, whenever we do a local meetup, I will open up my locker here behind me. I'll empty this and bring samples of all of these bottles that I've got to our meetups from now on. And maybe we'll throw a bit of money in the hat and we'll just pull out samples. We did a good sample giveaway at the Columbus, Ohio meetup. People got everything from Dreamcast 20-year-old to Green Spot 26, Redbreast 30-year-old. I'm happy to, whatever's open here is fair game, and I'll empty those into bottles and we'll do in-person meetups. Southern California, Utah, New York, Northern California is on the cards for the end of August as well. So stay tuned. I'll try and share all the details of where we can meet in person, raise a glass and raise some money. It does stand to reason that our in-person meetups should be fundraisers, shouldn't they? And should be a chance for us to raise a bit of money. So simple as that. Okay, folks. Sinead, that's it. We did it. Let's do our final tally here. Make sure we have what we have here. $5,420. You should all take a bow. You knocked it out of the park. Every donation added up to this tonight, and I'm blown away of how quickly now we're going to go from here to the $10,000. We're going to get there. It's going to happen. With all these ideas you have, the auctions that we can do, we might blast through $10,000, and why wouldn't we? Let's go big or go home. As simple as that. Karen says, "Sing us out, sing us out." All right, so we'd have to give a thank you song. $5,420. Amazing. All right, the owl triangle is the staple, isn't it? I almost put in a question about the owl triangle tonight, but I thought you'd be too clever for it. Oh, look at this. We have another donation from Siobhan Costello. Works with Paddy Irish Whiskey. A bottle of Paddy Centenary, a discontinued, fantastic 7-year-old pot still whiskey. Was released in 2013. You can't get them for love nor money now. Never released in the US. That's amazing. Siobhan, we'll be in touch. Siobhan and Stephen knocking it out of the park tonight for us. And Padraig, thanks so much. Amazing. Wow. Thanks so much, Siobhan. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks, Padraig. Honestly, we're going to raise some money. And Siobhan, her sister, an oncology nurse, so she sees in firsthand what cancer can do and the challenges people go through. And we know how many don't make it through the treatment. And thank you to your sister for what she does with the patients. What a calling that is, and how she gets through the day, I have no idea. And hopefully we can help a little bit. Cancer sucks. Guitar Man on YouTube. He lost his dad last year. Sorry to hear that. And God, don't we do this in the hope that nobody else loses a dad, a sister, a brother, a friend, a cousin, a friend? Oh. We shouldn't still be worrying about this with what the resources we have available in the world that we can't. Shouldn't we be able to solve this? And if resources are the problem, if money is what's keeping us, and money and time, well, we can do the bit with the money, can't we? And we'll make the effort to make this happen. Johnny's going to buy a bottle of Paddy tomorrow in thanks to Siobhan for that donation. Good man, Johnny. Fair play to you. The Owl Triangle. Because I can't remember any other words of anything else. Let's sing that, and then we'll be done. Thanks so much, everybody. Seriously. I'll be in touch with you all individually about your prizes and to thank you for what you've done tonight. All right. As we always do before we sing, we have to oil the pipes. We'll have to do this one louder than we've done any one before with that amount of money raised. Get a drop of water as well. Are you ready? Whether you're ready or not, you're getting it anyway. A hungry feeling came o'er me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. To begin the morning, the screw was bawling, "Get up, you bowsy, and clean out your cell." And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. I wish to Jesus they'd raise my wages from 13 shillings up to £2.10. And the old triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Up in the female prison, there are 75 women. 'Tis among those women I wish I did dwell. And that old triangle would go jingle bloody jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. One more time. And that old triangle would go jingle bloody jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. All along the banks of the Canal. Sláinte. Sinead, folks, go to bed, go home, go somewhere. You've homes to go to. Fair play to you all. Can't believe the amount raised. We're going to continue this over the next few weeks and months, but you're all amazing, and we're part of an incredible, incredible whiskey community. And you made me very happy tonight, and a lot of people are going to be delighted with what we've done tonight. So fair play to you all. Thanks a million. I'm going to eat some dinner. Sláinte. Good night.